Welcome to the world of Street Fighter 3. Prepare for battle.
One box could leave you messed up and fractured. Block these uppercuts, they may leave you captured. May the best fighter win and win again. Battle to the top until his life ends. But if his life ends and he starts to decay, may one of his street soldiers avenge things. See you talking to the game, couldn't be talking to me. I got enough to beat and more soldiers to bury. You know it just clicked in and made you realize this game is twice as hard. You see that with your own eyes. You're on the way to choose your type of life, cause you gotta. I tell you from now, which fighter will be the hotter. I don't think you want this one, just practice. Just challenge me when you're ready with your tactics. High punch, spin kicks, watch your back split. I see you in the air when I make you backflip. Select and make your first pick. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Choose and pick the best one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Select and make your first pick. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Choose and pick the best one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Select and make your first pick. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Choose and pick the best one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Select and make your first pick. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Choose and pick the best one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One box could leave you messed up and fractured. Block these uppercuts, they may leave you captured. May the best fighter win and win again. Battle to the top until his life ends. But if his life ends and he starts to decay, may one of his street soldiers avenge things. See you talking to the game, couldn't be talking to me. I got enough to beat and more soldiers to bury. You know it just clicked in and made you realize this game is twice as hard. You see that with your own eyes. You're on the way to choose your type of life, cause you gotta. I tell you from now, which fighter will be the hotter. I don't think you want this one, just practice. Just challenge me when you're ready with your tactics. High punch, spin kicks, watch your back split. I see you in the air when I make you backflip. Select and make your first pick.
Yo, what is up, interwebs? It is the Headmaster here at Gamer Academy, GQ Asian Dude, and hey, happy early Christmas wherever you are. Rinston 4893, howdy do. I want to greet you guys a pre-Christmas greeting. Thanks for tuning in here in the cold and very angry Pacific Northwest because the weather is kind of turbulent at the time. But hey, it's all good. It's the holiday spirit, and I'm here to hang out and vibe with y'all. So thanks for joining. Andre, good to see you as well. So what's up, students? Welcome back to another episode of the Gaming Academy. This is, of course, Season 2 class, I believe, number 58 now. And tonight's class is our final session before Christmas. That's right. If it's your first time here, I'm your Headmaster, GQ Asian Dude, joined as always by Blazing Ace Nelson and Nick, aka Tragically Elite. We got to get him a shirt that's like in like Matrix font, Tragically Elite or something like that. That'd be fun. Tonight's class is all about intentional gaming, slowing down, looking forward, and understanding not just what we play, but why we play. We'll start things off this week in gaming history, of course, with Memory Card Chronicles, taking a trip back through the last full week of December and revisiting the games and memories that shaped the season. Then we'll hit quick bites and rumor mill, breaking down the biggest headlines, industry shifts, and whispers making the rounds. And to close things out, the faculty gets festive with our holiday wish list, followed by a legacy question. If you could only keep 3 games for the rest of your life, what would they be? So think about that throughout this episode. So when you get there, put it in the chat. I'd love to know what you guys are thinking. But tonight, finally, we'll wrap tonight's class with a holiday-themed final boss. A reminder that sometimes that most important move isn't grinding harder. It's knowing when to press pause. So class is in session. Grab your notebooks, grab your controllers. Let's get into it and call the faculty in. All right. So with that said, let's call the boys here in blue or black, orange, purple. Nick and Blazing Ace Nelson.
Had to get all the colors.
Taste the rainbow.
Yeah, right.
The Texas drought was crazy.
12 hours, man. I couldn't do that. I mean, like you said, it's blustery as hell around here. So it's
I know the Texas drive. Oh my God.
You done it? You done did it?
Yeah, he's having flashbacks right now.
Yeah, he's getting hear helicopter sounds coming out.
It's here in the U. He's flying out.
Some guys are born and bred to wave the flag.
Wow. Okay. Wow. He really was hearing it.
Choppers, boys, the choppers. All right. Well, how was your guys from last week to
God.
this week? How was that?
I was it was pretty solid. I mean, I got started doing some more I got started doing some more work and a little bit more review in RPG Maker. I've been, slowly getting back into that because part of what I want to do for the new year, which I'll go into a little bit more detail next session, but definitely one thing I want to do coming up over the course of the new year is to, really get back into working in RPG Maker. And between start of 26 and New Year's Eve, I want to get a playable demo out or a full game. Doesn't matter how short it is. Just
Yeah.
I want to get something out there, something playable for people to actually check out.
Winston said, "Well, the streets have been going crazy." Okay, like wow, like, it could mean anything.
Yeah, it depends on the street too. Which side of Texas Street, for example, in Bellingham, that some people still talk about. My week was alright. Honestly, busy, super busy leading up to the holidays. My wife and I are taking our little 6-month-old to see family in Oregon, so just getting everything lined up, ready, and good to go. I always have heard about like, oh, you kind of just bring your things with you when you go places with an infant, like everything. You're basically moving every time. It's true, man. Like the amount of times I've had to spend like packing 2 additional bags, making sure we have like the stroller and the seat to go on the plane. It's like, man, I'm overwhelmed already. So this last week, I wasn't able to do much in the way of gaming, unfortunately, and wasn't able to keep up with a lot of things besides my sleep schedule.
Well, I'm glad you're getting your sleep because being a father is hard work. So that's
Yep.
what I hear. So you
That
got 2 dads on here.
full-time job.
All right. Well, I think what's his face agrees.
Excellent.
Thanks, Shao. But yeah, we got a lot on the palette today, a lot on the agenda. So let's just get cranking here in this week of gaming history. Let's give a little love to the Dreamcast also. Beautiful. Love that. Oh, it always reminds me of like a watery faucet in a high-end, high-res building.
Right?
Yeah, I could see that. Every
That's what-
time I hear that, I think of like 1 a.m. at my buddy's place where I stayed over the night that the Dreamcast came out, and he had it. I didn't. Spent the night at his house. Remember, every time I hear that boot up sound, it's like that's what we were doing at the time. We're just playing nothing but Dreamcast, staying up late when we shouldn't have been, eating God knows what terrible food for us. But every
I
time
would
I hear
love
that,
to
man,
hear. I would love to hear Chat's Dreamcast story because I think for me, I had to like find it in a different town to just even rent it because it was so rare around here. So
yeah, man, I didn't have access to one beyond my friends having it until I was much older and working at a retro store.
when yeah, I was way past that already.
Yeah, way past.
Well,
I mean, when I like really started working at GameStop, like Dreamcast wasn't really in stock for the
no,
most
I think it
part.
was a tail end, right? Because the PS2 was like
Well,
really swallowing
when
up.
I started working there, it was 2004. I want to say 2000, yeah, 2004, if I remember right.
Mhm.
It's been a bit. But I remember like still alphabetizing PS1 and 64 games. But just for some reason, I don't remember much in the way of Dreamcast. We probably had a small section there in like one of
Yeah.
like the dump bins, but it was like very
Oh,
few games.
unfortunate.
Yeah, no, it was like the PSX was dump bin too.
Can you
And I
imagine
think
seeing a dump bin full of cannon spikes? Oh my god!
right. Oh my god, that's what I really wish I would have had like the foresight on with a lot of those games. Because when I remember, because that's when I was working at 719. That was Sunset. That was my first store. That was the one I worked at for so long. I remember right when you walk in, I still have just an image in my head. Right when you walk in, immediately to the right, where there's just like pop figures and stuff now. That was where we had the TV setups. So it was 4 TVs, and there was like a PlayStation, a 64, PS2. Like those were the things that were set there. And then underneath was a glass case where we had like the 64 carts, like displayed nicely. Like that was up front and locked. And then all the PS1 games were just in the dump bin in the center. Like this is an afterthought.
Terrible.
The disrespect nowadays.
Right.
$80 a disc. Jeez, Mega Man Legends being $300 now. Oh. All right. Well, that just made me a little bit sad, but also happy because we're going to be talking about some retro games here, starting with
Get
our
to it.
first game of the night, The Rise of the Triad Dark War.
Mm.
So, who pulled
Look at
this out of the Chronicles?
look at that cover.
Right?
That looks like a comic strip from like 1967.
I mean, aesthetically, when you play the game, it's not that far. This was my choice for the December 21st, this day in gaming history. This memory card chronicle for me was, hey, this DOS game, man. This was a shareware game, actually. Dark War was. If you can see the little Apogee logo on the lower front of that cover art, this was a shareware title. I remember getting the shareware version of this, just the demo, and then I remember getting the floppy disks when we went to the store and actually found a big box. I really wish I would have kept that big box because it was awesome.
Dude,
But what I remember most about this game was the cover and then God mode. Those are the two things that just stick out in my head. The little hand thing is like it's a first person shooter, so you see your hand do this like animation as you're throwing this like God ball around and killing everyone.
uh-huh.
But honestly, like back in the day, right when this hit, for me, like I don't get me wrong, I love Duke Nukem and I love Doom back in the day, but the humor in this game really stuck out to me. It had a lot of like silly power ups. It had a drunk missile.
Oh,
Um,
oh my
it
god!
it also had a dog mode where you can become an invincible dog and you go down, you turn into a dog and you actually bite enemies. Uh,
And your
Also,
bark could clear rooms.
your bark at clear rooms. James was looking at the gameplay of it before we started up, and
Oh
the
yeah, I love
soundtrack still, man, it just had an aura about it, and the digitized enemies, like still to this day.
Oh, that's look. I picked up the Rise of the Triad Ludicrous Edition, and that soundtrack still slaps to this day. Like most people, when they think about first person shooters and that first stage music that sets the pace, it's E1 M1, right? But
It was
for
actually
me,
funny, like hearing this again too. Just on that same point, when we booted this up, James said it felt like he was playing Strider or something.
yeah,
It's very upbeat.
no, real talk. Going down the fast way is like hands down one of my favorite opening stage themes in video games. Period. And what's
Yeah,
even funnier is that back while I was out in Texas, back while I was living in Dallas, I was literally 15 minutes down I want to say the 635 from the composer, Lee Jackson.
what were you on that, man? Hit him up.
Unfortunately, living with the ex.
Oh, yeah, fair enough. Well, long and the short of it is with this one, when I look back on it, it didn't take itself seriously at some points. It just had fun with the content, and I had fun playing it, and it's something that I kind of miss with games nowadays. That's why the Ludicrous Edition was so much fun to pick up. It had that nostalgia, but also it still kind of felt fresh, weirdly, despite the fact, it was a re-release. Ace, I don't know if you can back me up on that or if you had a similar feel, but the verticality that was in this, it just kind of stood out to
Yeah.
me. And there, like I said, there was just like an aura about this. Oh, and speaking of just seeing this now, there is times when you're shooting enemies, if you do enough damage, they'll get down on their knees and like beg for their life. And if you decide not to kill them, they'll like cackle and then try to shoot you. Like it was different. It just did some different things at a time when this was 94 on DOS. I just wasn't expecting it. It came out of nowhere.
It's 13. Oh my gosh. If someone were to say, "Hey, this is a John Wick game," I'd be like, "Oh yeah, I can see it."
I wouldn't be surprised.
It's pretty neat. That's all I gotta say. I mean, I like Here's the thing: a lot of games strive to be like this now, which is kind of insane if you think about it.
I don't know
Retro.
if you noticed too, like when you're picking up the items, like the little things that it says in the corner. You picked up asbestos armor, and it said it's oh so itchy. Like it's just there we go. There's the God
There's
mode,
God
the
mode.
God hand.
And literally, like the only thing you hear is just your character yawning as you're just floating around, casting these balls, and just disintegrating everything. It's hilarious.
Yeah, man, it was a vibe. That's my memory card
All
chronicle.
right, tell me what was the plot to this game? As somebody has never played it before.
Oh man, it's been way too long since I sat down with it. I know that it took place in the near future. It was like a year in the future,
Yep.
kind of thing. Ace,
Yep. You are part of a top secret task force sent to an island to take out a psychotic cult.
That's right. It was the cult.
Yeah, too close to home. All right. Well, wow. Okay, that's a lot of game right there.
Oh, and
Like
also,
I said, man, it was a vibe.
mushroom mode and the Excalibat.
Oh yeah, the Excalibat.
Excalibat, eh? Go
So
on.
you pick this up and you are literally walking around with a glowing green Louisville Slugger, doing high damage with melee attacks, but then for your long range, you are just boom, explosive line drives. And then you charge it up, and then you do a full swing, and it's just a wide arc of baseballs.
Rents,
so
I don't know
you
if
guys-
you've noticed when you've listened to Ace, but it's always phrasing with Ace.
You guys weren't kidding when this game is out of is wild.
It's wild. It
Oh,
really
yeah.
is. Like I said, it was wild and in a way that it didn't feel forced. So
Yeah. Here's a game that doesn't feel forced, and I don't think it's that wild. Arguably the first beat 'em up aside from Streets of Rage on the Sega Genesis, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. In 1989, December 22nd, Golden Axe released. And I was jealous of this game because I didn't have it, because I didn't have a Sega. So someone with a Sega, tell us a little bit more about it.
hey, that would be me, right? Well, I don't know. Like with this up on the screen, Fluffy, good to see you in chat. I look at this cover and it kind of takes me back to watching Conan the Barbarian with my dad. And
Nice.
playing the arcade version of Golden Axe actually at our local pizza parlor while we waited for our order. Like this was one of the games that we had there. I think it was this, and then a little bit later on they got like a Tekken 3 cab, and I just remember that pizza parlor in particular. I always loved going with my dad and waiting for pizza because I could actually play the arcade games. But I loved this game as a kid. Was I good?
Hold on, pause. Hold on, pause. Ace. This man's name is Axe Battler.
Mm-hmm.
Is this related to Brian?
No.
All right.
Thankfully, if this was in relation to Brian, then the game would be that much easier.
I don't know if you knew that, Nick, but Brian Battler was the football player in KOF 94, right?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was like, that's why it's like Axe Battler. What the heck? That's crazy. Anyway, sorry about that.
No, it's fine. I mean, Death Adder, the bad guy. There we go, Renston. You called it out. Yeah. Well, like I said, I loved this game as a kid. I was not good at it, but dark fantasy and the different combat styles for each character, and honestly, a very memorable soundtrack from my childhood still sticks with me to this day. It was definitely one of the games I had for the home console as well. But for me, I still remember that pizza parlor in Clinton, Washington, on the south end of Whidbey, where they had a Golden Axe machine.
Yep. And
the little elves, gnomes running around too, stealing your shit. I hated them.
And look, when I tell people about Absalom, I mean this is how I got Oliver to jump on Absalom. I said, take Golden Axe, cross it over with Streets of Rage 4, and that's what you get.
Yeah, I dig it, man. I really, really dig it. And like I said, that kind of Conan the Barbarian-esque, like Frank Frazetta style cover art is just so cool.
Mean. That's terrible. He's all crippled, and then the dude just hits him and runs away. What a coward, dude.
Oh yeah, and I'm immediately hearing the noise of him just like bonking him on the head. Dunk, dunk, kick.
I do remember like one of the most like this felt good to hit people. This game, like there's just weight in the hit, like that shoulder tackle. Like you could feel that when you were a kid.
Well, yeah, the shoulder tackle you could feel. The little like hit them over the head with the like hilt of your sword was a little goofy. Yeah.
Not so much.
It's like dunk, dunk.
It always felt good when you kicked them off the mounts. That always felt good.
So. Or like just now when you punt the little dudes running around with.
Oh yeah, Renston, yeah, Ace Admistara, yeah.
Oh yeah,
easily, and that's why we bring up Dragon's Crown a lot because of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, hopefully Golden Axe gets some love, just like Streets of Rage 4, or somebody picks it up because they've now picked up what Streets of Rage 4 and Shinobi, so hopefully Golden Axe is there somewhere, in their sites. I would love that. All right. Next game, same day on the 22nd, but this time on the PlayStation. One of the first games I've ever streamed on the internet. Valkyrie Profile from not Square Enix, just
Enix.
Enix. So, all right, tell us a little bit more about this, Ace.
Yeah, like so at the time I played this, I was already sitting down and I had already been, curious about Norse mythology, so I was, sitting down doing some reading about it. But Valkyrie Profile takes such a unique tack in terms of retelling, Norse mythology and the story of Ragnarok. And, you know, part of the naming of the game, Valkyrie Profile, is that pretty much the entirety of the game is played in profile view. You are going, left to right or right to left or up to down. The only time you really get like any sort of, 3D look is when you're flying around across Midgard on the world map as Valkyrie as you're going to the different places and, you know, meeting these characters who are at the end of their lives. You are seeing the tragedies of these characters as they are, as they die or are killed or are murdered. And in life, these characters are, whether they know it or not, these characters are heroes. Valkyrie knows this, she senses this, so you're going around and recruiting them. And then as you're fighting through the different dungeons and you get, here's the combat. Like, yeah, this is a game where you can just mash the buttons once you get into a fight and have all of your characters attack. But it really puts emphasis on figuring out how to line up your characters and, what order you want to hit the buttons in that correspond to each of them in order to build up that super gauge so you can chain together everyone's finishing strikes, everyone's super moves. The sheer depth of variety in the characters and the depth of variety in their stories. If Final Fantasy VII is one of the first games that really changed the game as far as what storytelling could be in a video game, this right here changed the game again.
Who's that character that has the giant sword?
That's Arngrim. He's actually
Like one of the first guys you get.
like he's one of the first guys you get, and one of the heaviest hitters.
I was wondering, like, the size of that sword was huge.
Yeah.
Oh
Like,
yeah, it's definitely some guts inspiration.
I was wondering if it was like one of the largest swords in video games. I was looking up a list. I can't see how long his sword was, though.
Masamune is pretty long like that too. Except for Sword, not Glenn's.
Yeah, Square. You can say that Square definitely did drop the ball in this franchise, but honestly,
I mean, they try to bring it back, but it's too late. It was for a different era, a different time, because there was an attempt. There was the second one came at the tail end of the PlayStation 2's life,
yep.
right? And then
And-
the new one that came out.
Yeah, the second one, they knocked it out of the park again. But yeah, definitely, if you're looking for something with some heavy storytelling, but with gameplay that is just fast, kinetic, and honestly pretty damn tactical, give this a go.
Cool. All right, pop quiz. What does Valkyrie say when she enters the fight like that?
Let's see. There is at least two quotes I can think of right now. There's "To my side, my noble Arnhariar," and "Come to me, dark warriors. Battle awaits us."
Okay, that's pretty good. What's her first special move called?
You mean like the first one that she can actually like equip for her attacks, or are you talking her special move?
Special
No,
move.
meter.
She says it when she does it.
Oh,
Because
full meter move, that's Nibelung Valesti.
this man's a nerd. I got
Yes,
you.
I am. Damn it.
He got it all. All right, Chad. Never doubt Ace when it comes to Valkyrie Profile. That was the test. That was the test. All right, the next test though, we're gonna move on to the next day, the 24th. No, 23rd. My bad. I'm just jumping ahead here.
Skipping a day.
Yeah. Just like what you heard earlier. This game is from the Dreamcast, and it is the Dreamcast 2. No, D2.
God, now I'm
I've
just
never
sad.
played this game, so y'all go crazy while I look for footage.
You know what? This was my pick because it's Christmas, and I could have done another like DOS shooter. To be honest, there was a couple that came out on that day. Heretic comes to mind right away. That came out on the 23rd. But instead, I'm going to go with a game that I played well after the fact. A horror themed shooter with RPG elements. I remembered that it took place during Christmas, so I thought I put this on the list of something that I remembered. I think it was like Christmas 2000. I think is when it took place. It's been a while since I played this one.
1999.
Well, the game came out in '99, but I think it took place during
The
Christmas
game. Okay.
2000. Yeah. Horror games aren't really my thing, but this one was different than the first game because there was an original D that came out. This is D2, not Diablo 2. This was more shooter based, and the gameplay actually reminded me a lot more of Snatcher, which is one of my all time favorites on a Sega CD. Granted, not Cyberpunk, but yeah, no, I really remember like picking this up and just like, what is this game that just says D2? I don't get it. I checked it out from work,
The Mighty
brought it
Ducks.
home, ended up playing it. I was like, oh, okay, sure, yeah, man, absolutely. Like I said, not as like horror driven as the first one, but still like a
God, Nightmare Fuel.
yeah. There's still some nightmare fuel.
Oh shit!
Yeah. The gun shooting this one reminded me a lot of Snatcher.
I didn't
Hey, Blue.
expect that.
And so I started blasting.
Yeah. Anyway, I started blasting.
I didn't know this was a Time Crisis game.
Yeah, it kind of has that vibe, doesn't it? It's strange because it goes from that like horror walking around like over the shoulder that you're seeing in this frame, and then it goes into that like first person like shooting aspect. It was different. It was just different. And it was one of those games that kind of just took a random chance on back in the day, and I just remember playing it.
Is this the Dreamcast like answer to Parasite Eve? Like, were they trying to do that?
I don't think so, because if I remember right, the original D was on PlayStation.
Yeah.
I don't know if the game series was trying to be anything but itself.
Yeah.
I mean, horror games on the PS1, right? There was tons of them, so
Yeah,
I'm sure it was
Clock
just on the
Tower and
grand
all that.
wave.
Yeah. Cool. All right, that's the D2.
That's the D.
The D2 Mighty Ducks. All right, the next game is one of my picks, but this is Ace's pick. But I was very excited about this game, and I'll show you why. I'll show you the original E3 trailer, then I'll show you the actual gameplay, and I want you to be upset like I was back in the day.
It's just one of those trailers versus actual gameplay.
Right.
Yeah. So while you're doing that, what I'm looking for those trailers is tell us more about the Bounce.
Oh man, Squaresoft and beat 'em ups. You would think normally they don't go well together. For this, well, that kind of didn't go well, but at the same time, for what it was, the bouncer was honestly pretty special because it was a beat 'em up with RPG elements, but over the course of the game, you played as your three main characters, Sion, Volt, and Co. And one of the big selling points of the game was being able to not only switch between characters, but also the different team up mechanics that you had that were available. Either double team attacks, or once you fulfilled certain conditions, a full on 3-person assault. And it was just, if you were to ever look at a game and say, that is Tetsuya Nomura the game. There you go.
All
I thought it was just like every time I saw this like cover art, I thought it was just edgy Final Fantasy.
right,
Because
guys,
I'd never played the game. I just saw the cover.
pay attention to this 1999 demo trailer show. Okay, this was technically the first reveal of this game. So you got a train that's on fire. It's like high octane. Oh my god, people are jumping off it. It's crazy. It's combat. It gets kicked through the table.
Oh, jeez.
Right, there's your boys. Look at this. Oh, sweep, kick to the face. It's looking pretty good so far.
It gives me a vibe of just like Final Fantasy Def Jam.
Yeah, I
Kinda.
think you're pretty
It just
close.
has that kind of like Def Jammy, like Vendetta, like animation style, you know.
You are not too far off.
So this part right here, I think this is what sold me the game. So they're fighting on this like deck. He gets kicked off and falls to the second floor. He throws a table right there. Like it's like pretty dynamic. Like I'm like, whoa, this is pretty cool. Like there's a lot of action going on. There's that Matrix thing that was a big thing at the time, right? So keep talking about this. I'll grab you what the actual gameplay looks like.
Right, but the funny thing about this is that this is also one of those games that really encourage multiple playthroughs because as you play through the game multiple times, you unlocked more characters for the versus mode, and that includes all the different enemies and even the bosses. And it was for a game that was technically a what basically wound up being a PS2 tech demo.
Yep, basically.
It was it it was
You know
a
what?
pretty damn substantive tech demo. Like it was
I
rich in content.
I agree with you on that. I think it was the tech demo for Guys. Or like it was like supposedly like a new Guys game, but I think
Yeah.
that's what it felt like.
But from that, from the foundation of the bouncer, that's basically how we got not only Final Fantasy X and let's see, Final Fantasy X, 10-2, Dirge of Cerberus, but also Kingdom Hearts.
And also Dog Street. That's isn't that the club name? Dog Street. Or the club was on Dog Street, but it was like Final Heaven or something like that.
Yeah.
So it was all Final Fantasy related. So
I mean, hell, even like the logo on the back of Volt's jacket is literally like an anti-cactuar symbol.
no cactuars here allowed. All right, so I'm gonna fast forward this a little bit to when the fighting starts, and look at this pure energy of fighting. So if I was just so like, what am I playing in comparison to what I saw?
Right.
And so I think that's what really got me disappointed about this game. Like I was excited for it, but like don't feed me that stuff and give me this.
Right.
Come on now.
It was a lot slower and again a lot less dynamic compared to what they had showed in the trailers.
I mean, there's definitely physics in the game, but that's not what sold me. I wanted guys flying across a room, breaking stuff, So
And this is exactly why I keep saying if there is a game that needs to be remade,
oh boy,
that right there.
Man,
first thing I feel right now is when you two were just talking about like what was promised or what was potential and what we got, and then watch that like little mini arena that he got into that he fought in. You know what it immediately reminded me of? Jet Li Rise to Honor. Same exact thing, where it's just like this could have been so cool, and it's just like a series of like hallways leading to little mini arenas where you're just fighting in this arena. It's in a multi-directional kind of thing, and it's like it could have been so cool, especially just kind of with the benefit of hindsight when I'm looking at things like Sleeping Dogs and the combat system that was in that, like what I could have had with Rise to Honor, because that was one that I put in. I was just like, oh, what is this?
I kind of like Rise to Honor, but hey, I
kind of like it, but it's just like it's the same thing where it's like I thought I was getting something else, and it could have been so cool.
And the only reason why I like Rise to Honor because I actually like Jackie Chan's Stuntmaster, and that's what it reminded me.
That's
enough.
fair.
Yeah.
And Stuntmaster was dope.
See, you know what else is dope? 31 years of World War III. Via Akira.
Look at that 80-20-19.
All right. Christmas Eve, December 24th, 1988. I did not even know they made an Akira Nintendo game. So Nick,
and a lot of people did not. Yeah,
adventure game.
a lot of people did not know that this was a thing. It was a real thing. It was on the Famicom. It was a Japanese release, so it wasn't released in the US. But there are some people who've put in the work to make a like aftermarket cart with the English, which is what you're seeing there on the screen. I personally never played it, but I did vividly remember this iconic anime, and the fact that I pulled up this day in gaming history and saw that this was a thing on this day. I'm like, that's it. We're talking about this on the pod. Um, so shout out to a game that some of you may not have known had come out, a text adventure game that follows along with the movie that looks really cool. I'll be honest, a lot of these like things, like again, this is 1988 on the Famicom, right?
Yeah.
This looks pretty damn good for that. But the game was not good. It really is just kind of an adventure game where you're just like reading through this. So you have to really be into Akira to get into it. But yeah, man, this was totally a thing. And shout out to the day before Christmas getting this dropped on you. AD 2019, World War III has been done for a while.
33 years. I read that and I was like, oh my gosh, what in the world?
Takashi, the wrinkly kid, stared at the man.
Also, shout out to Akira for making the bike slide legendary. Everybody's copying that. It is the coolest thing ever. So shout out to Akira.
I always love when you can recognize that one too in different bits of media. I think it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. It's technically my first like theatrical anime that I watched like ever in my life. So
Uh-huh.
it wasn't mine. Actually, Ace, do you know yours? Because maybe that's a quick one we could talk about.
That's a good one, yeah.
Yep. I can name two right off the bat. New Dominion Tank Police and Fatal Fury the motion picture.
Why am I not surprised?
Those
Why
are
am I
pretty
not
good.
surprised?
You shouldn't be surprised at Fatal Fury. Come on.
Yeah, right. I'm sorry. I'm surprised it wasn't like one of the Samurai Warriors games, or any of those Dynasty Warriors. Sorry,
we didn't have the last party in theaters here for Sengoku.
Like the thing is, I actually saw Fatal Fury before I even saw Street Fighter.
The movie?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, that's fair. I remember renting Fatal Fury from the. For sure.
I didn't see it in theaters, but my first the moment it came out, I want to say on VHS when I watched it, was Ghost in the Shell, the original Ghost in the Shell, 95. That was something that blew my mind, and I've been in love with it ever since, and it really influenced the kind of stuff that I'm into.
Yep.
The manga's very different.
One of my high school projects was I interviewed somebody that worked at Manga Entertainment as a distributor. So that was really cool. This was like in 1999. It was super cool.
Wow, that is really cool. The more you know. Speaking of the more you know, Christmas Day. It's weird to think like, oh man, look at the games that come out on Christmas Day. You don't really see that anymore. It comes out around Christmas Day, all like the build up to the holidays. Us having worked in video game stores, we know about the setup. We get to see the game release schedule a little bit ahead of time. And you're just like, okay, here's where it's going to pop off. It's like November, December before Christmas. You want to give people enough time to add to their Christmas lists. This was Christmas Day in 2003 in Japan, Otogi 2. So this is one that I didn't play personally, but when I saw this, I knew I had to talk about it because I watched a roommate play the original one and this one back in college. When I went to my first year, the guys on the floor above me had a PS2, and that's where one of the other games that I think I'm talking about the next day. I would just watch them play because I didn't have a PlayStation 2. And this was one that really stuck out to me because I'm really not good at these games. Like, big surprise, it's a FromSoft game. I'm not good at it, and I don't generally do well at them. But I love the style of this, having to do with like Japanese mythology as well. It's just one of those series that I really think could benefit from a remaster. But honestly, with where the industry is for FromSoft, they're on that just tear with the games that they're making right now. And honestly, Onimusha's back out finally after all this time is coming out this next year, I think. It may just be lost to the memories of those who played or watched. But I just remember this one kind of standing out at a very specific time in my life, of just one that I never personally played, but I watched someone play through all the way. Super impressed later on too, because the later game gets pretty hectic.
So does it play like a Souls game?
No, to me it was more like hack and slashy, like you're seeing there. It doesn't play as much. It reminded me more of like pattern recognition, not quite like Onimusha or Devil May Cry is a
Yeah.
little more on rails and a little tougher. Kind of reminded me more of like a more like the wrong way to say it, but like more like a long form Ninja Gaiden. It didn't feel like arenas as much
Okay.
as you're going through the
Ace,
levels.
this guy your name written all over it, brother. I don't know why you haven't played this yet.
because I didn't have an Xbox.
Well,
Well, we just found out, like leading up to this, it is backwards compatible on the Series X. Like if you put it into, you put the disc in and play this one
Oh,
and
word?
two. Yeah,
yeah, this looks like a game that
All
you
right
should
then.
play.
yeah. Honestly, Ace, I think you dig it. It's one of those ones. Like I said, I'm not good at it, but I just remember vividly watching my friends play this back in the day, and it's just
Oh
like,
no,
man, let's put
it
this up.
definitely looks like one that I would totally dig.
And like I said, it's steeped in Japanese mythology, so a lot of other games at the time weren't really like focused on that. So it was really cool to see.
My version of this was Bujingai. Y'all remember seeing that?
Oh yeah,
That atrocity. So uh, yeah, awesome, man. Yeah, that hopefully like that this gets a collection or something. Like that'd be kind of fun.
yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
Yeah.
it's we'll see. We'll see if they ever do something like that. I'm assuming by this point, like it's done
I
and
just see it.
dusted, right?
I just see it now. We got a Togi collection before Bloodborne 2. That's exactly
Oh, good lord.
yeah. Speaking of
Or
remaster,
we're gonna get Otogi 3 before we get Half-Life 3.
yeah,
Mm.
exactly. Speaking of remastered, this one here, when this image came out, when this was announced, I thought this was like one of the most beautiful images I've ever seen.
It's great.
It's like photorealistic. This was before, I don't know, man. Like it's just shocking. Like we were so ahead of its time. Like you can also hear and feel this image if you played the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, with that said, Nick, go ahead and tell us a little bit more about that.
No, I'm glad you said something about just like hearing something when you see this image. I have mentioned it multiple times in this pod before, but I didn't play 10-10-2 when it came out. I watched a friend play 10 and I got so invested in the story. Like after we go to the meal hall, we grab dinner and get our homework done, they'd play. I just go up and watch them. Like that was my night. I just for some reason got pulled into it because I didn't play Final Fantasy back in the day. I just didn't. I didn't have access to it. I didn't have a console that had it. It didn't really speak to me. I wasn't into RPGs. I was into RTSs on the PC, right?
Right.
So this was one where I got so invested in the story. Eventually, I had to go get a PS2 and buy 10-2 when it came out, or after the fact, I bought it. And obviously was shocked that it was not the same game. It was very different, a different vibe. But I had to play because I wanted to get the ending to that story. It was like one of the first like video game stories like that I got really pulled into for something that's not normally my thing. Like it was just something out of left field for me and it just for some reason resonated. I like the way it was written. I like the music and the visuals, the animation in 10 is still amazing, like you were talking about, like it felt photorealistic with some of those ones, and that's why I got pulled in. I hadn't really seen anything like it at the time. We were talking about like some of the cutscenes. A lot of it was, for me at least, I was playing a lot of like Halo and stuff, a lot of in-game cinematics, not a ton until like Halo 2. We had like the big animations. But I bought the PS4 version of this remaster, which is what we're talking about. This was the PS3 one on this day in gaming history. But I remember this release when I worked in the store. This was during that time when people were just clamoring for that Final Fantasy VII remake, and they're like, "Why are you remaking 10?" It's like the normies play 10. Like if you're a Final Fantasy fan, you want Final Fantasy VII. Why are we getting 10 again? We just played this recently. Like why do we need 10 back? We want 7. We want 8. We want 9. We want 6. Why are you giving us 10 in
Simple
HD on the
simple
PS3?
answer. Simple answer. It's a fundraiser game.
What did it raise funds
normies-
for? What did it raise funds for? Because I
11.
mean, well, 11 by that point was
the
already
normies
done
played
and dusted, though,
right?
because
The
this was the
normies played
PS3
it. You
release.
get the normie money, put the normie money towards the remake for
So the thing is, as well, at the same time, remember the big thing about the PS3 was it didn't feel like it had a lot of JRPGs. PS1 and PS2 had our JRPGs in spades. JRPGs moved over to the 360 side of things. That's where you went to get your JRPG fix. So it
Yep.
felt like they needed to put something out that was popular. Anyway, long story short, I felt like when I was working in the store, that was the thing they were talking about when this came out, was just like, why pick 10? 10 is not the most popular one. Again, we can look at numbers and everything that might tell a different story, but this is just what I remember hearing at the time when it came out. I felt it was like kind of like a split opinion in the store when people saw that this one came out. Like I
Oh,
said, it's the one
that's
that I played and I enjoyed it. I bought the PS4 version, like I said, and I've played through it. It's still awesome, but it's just one of those things. I kind of look back on it when this release. I just remember that kind of conversation working in the store.
10 was also the first voice acted Final Fantasy, so I can see why people would love it because there's voices now in the game. So
Yep.
And I mean, this was before we got a like massive, industry push towards remasters and remakes like around every corner, right? Like this was a little bit early for that. So that's why I'm saying like it to me it felt like it was a kind of a quick turnaround to get this collection out. It just makes me like you said, it could have been raising funds, but for what in the
Yep.
PS3 era?
plus you get value. You get 10 and 10 too. I think that's a good way to do that. So
And for the most part, when you talk about like Final Fantasy X, there's a lot of people that really like it. It's
Mhm.
not like maybe you're choosing the safe option. That's what they went with.
yeah, no, it's true. I mean, like like it got Nick to play Final Fantasy. That multiply that, extrapolate that to like millions of people across the world, right? So if 7 didn't get you to play Final Fantasy, if 8 and 9 didn't get you to play, and 10 did, then they got to look at that and say, "Wow, this is where it is."
Yeah, and it's one of those things. Like honestly, now that you mention it too, Ace, when you think back on it, think about the amount of resources it would take to update or remaster those original PlayStation One
Yeah, it'd be a new
games.
game basically. Yeah. For
Basically,
sure. Oh
maybe
man,
I
I
just
would love
answered
it.
my own question.
Well, no, someone
Yeah.
also in our Discord, someone did mention how it's hard to bring back older games too. So that's a good read if you join our Discord. Watch that. I think Jacob's posted it. So fantastic. Well, thanks, guys.
Excellent.
Level up. I'm motivated.
Now I'm
Pressing all the
motivated.
buttons because we're moving over
Just
to our
face rolling across
yeah,
that.
we're moving to our next segment. Quick bites. Let's go. This is Mr. Nick's segment over here. Tell us a little bit more about it.
Quick bites and rumor mill? Yeah, I'm happy to talk about it, man. It's the Gaming Academy's rapid fire roundup of the biggest stories, updates, and whispers in the gaming world from this last week. If you didn't hear the news, co-founder of Respawn Entertainment and head of the Battlefield franchise, Vince Zampella, has passed away. He was 55 years old. This was something that popped up in our Discord really quick at the moment it broke. A couple people had posted about it. I was going to post about it again. Jago's got there first. Going from testing unreleased games and answering phones to working at companies like Atari, Panasonic, and Sega Soft, Vince was at the helm for a number of amazing titles in gaming history, most notably the Call of Duty franchise, including the peak that was Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. We've talked about that a few times. But with his passing, let's not forget his leadership behind titles like Medal of Honor, Allied Assault, the founding of Infinity Ward, then Respawn Entertainment. Um, Titles like Titanfall 1 and Titanfall 2, Apex Legends, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, and Jedi Survivor. And in 2021, he was put in charge of the Battlefield franchise. So this is something that happened this last day or two, if I remember right. It's been a blur on my end, but just kind of a shock. Super young for this person to pass. Died in a car crash, unfortunately. Some notable names in the industry have posted online about the loss, highlighting the impact that he's made on their lives, including Jeff Keighley and Hideo Kojima as well. So it's just kind of crazy to see. Did you guys see the news break on this one?
Yeah, and actually, there's another kind of keystone moment that Vince Zampella was a part of. The current creative director at Digital Extremes, the current creative director for Warframe, the thing that got her hired was her thesis on Vince Zampella.
Pretty crazy.
So
And
he's a
that was
big
the
deal.
thing. Yeah, very big deal. And that's what I was mentioning about Kojima as well. Kojima had posted that when he was a member of the fallout after Metal Gear leaving Konami, he was kind of rudderless, didn't know what to do, and mentioned in his I think it was his Blue Sky post, or might have been his X post, just mentioning how Vince was the one who kind of sat him down and talked to him because remember there was that pretty notorious falling out where Vince left. The Call of Duty
Yep.
franchise and had to go over and left Infinity Ward and then founding Respawn what to do with their lives. So it's kind of crazy just to see that this had happened. And honestly, when you see someone like this pass in the industry, you kind of look at their body of work and realize what kind of impact they've had. That's been a recurring theme on this podcast, was us talking about how games have affected us and our lives and what our memories we have of them, and the good times, the bad times, what got us through, the strength we pull from it. He had a lot of impact in this industry. So I just want to take that moment during Quick Bites to talk about it. Shout out to someone who I've played a lot of their games. I'm really excited for the next Jedi game to see what's going to happen with that, but it'll be a little bittersweet when you boot it up the first time. Moving on to some other news, IO Interactive has released a statement today announcing that 007 First Light is being delayed 2 months to the 27th of May. The team mentioned that the game is fully playable from beginning to end, but discussed needing more time to polish and refine the experience. Speaking of playable from beginning to end, fans of Star Citizen got some good news. Cloud Imperium Games dropped an update saying that Squadron 42, which is the single player component of the project, has reached the same milestone. CIG also reaffirmed the release window, which is sometime in 2026. So we got an official word there. It looks like they're finally coming out with Squadron 42.
About bloody time.
All right, let's not skip over this. We've talked about it a lot the last few weeks, but the use of generative AI has been on the forefront of the gaming news for the last few months with a lot of lowlights, unfortunately. Heck, we've had a discussion on this pod as well, and it seems like there's a split in the industry too. In the news this time around, Claire Obscure Expedition 33 has officially been disqualified from the Indie Game Awards 2025 after the dev, Sandfall Interactive, confirmed the use of generative AI in its development. The awards that had originally been won by the game is now going to the runner-ups. Larian Studios has also recently come under fire for its Gen AI usage in their next big game release, Divinity. Industry veterans from various teams have come to the defense of Larian or have taken a stance against it online. So we're starting to see a little more fracturing on this, at least on the official industry side of where people are falling on generative AI use. Also in the news is the cost of gaming. We're all feeling it in our pocketbooks. Chipmaker Micron has claimed that the crazy high RAM costs that we have seen on the market as of late could last beyond 2026. Their statement applies to the global RAM supply, likely due to the increased demand from AI data centers. In fact, Micron announced that it was ending its consumer RAM segment altogether. So gamers are no stranger to the rising cost of games and hardware this last year especially. And I mean, we've heard at the end of November, there was rumors of another Xbox console price hike that was swirling and potentially coming down the pipe too because of this. Yeah. With that Micron announcement, it's caused a domino to fall as well. Samsung has doubled the price of DRAM that it makes for a variety of brands. That includes G.Skill and Corsair. I have some Corsair RAM myself. I saw this at Best Buy. Like they've jumped from $90 for a pack of 16 gigs to $300 for a pack of 16 gigs, and in a very short amount of time. This is also likely to affect Samsung's storage prices as well, like their NVMe SSDs. So if you're looking to build a PC in the next little bit, those prices are going to go up if they're going to continue making them.
I currently have one in the rig that I'm running, and I also have one in my PS5. And I got both of them when they were relatively inexpensive. I mean, they're solid, stable NVMe's for not that much out of the pocketbook at the time.
Yeah, well, I mean, even the build that I have right now, the one that I built, I got those Samsung NVMe's for mine for a fantastic price for 1 and 2 terabyte. Like I haven't looked back from it. I was like, that's great. I love that. And then I'm seeing the prices nowadays, and it's kind of like you're seeing a lot of memes pop up online that have given me a pretty good chuckle. It's just like this family. It's like they're sitting around the dinner table. So mom like trying to feed 3 kids, and they're like, "Mom, how were you able to afford this?" It's like it was because Dad bought 32 gigs of RAM, before the RAM shortage wars. It's just like, man, I feel that. Yeah. And speaking of all this, Rents, and I see you in chat bringing up on NVIDIA. We aren't in the rumor mill at this time, so it's relevant to bring it up a little bit early with this one. But the DRAM shortage may also have an impact on NVIDIA. Multiple sources are reporting that the company could look to reduce production of its RTX GPUs in early 2026. Look, NVIDIA hasn't commented on its production plan, so this is our usual, take it as a grain of salt discussion that we're going to have, but it would make sense given the shortages that we're seeing and rising prices. So not only are GPUs potentially going to go up in price soon, because they've been kind of falling leading up to the holiday season because everyone's wallets are a little bit tighter, they can't afford it, so stock has been building up. But now we're looking at they're going to start cutting production potentially, so those prices are going to shoot right back up. So although I'd say, hey, maybe not buy an NVMe or wait to buy an NVMe and don't buy RAM, you might want to get a GPU before too long if you're looking to build. Anyway, let's move on from that one. Marathon has lost art director Joseph Cross just 3 months before the launch of the game. He didn't share any hints as to why, and given where the game is in development, it may not be a huge change to that particular title. But Joseph Cross was with Bungie since 2011 and was with EA working as a concept artist for Dead Space 2 and 3. So definitely an industry vet by this point, but seeing a art director title leave a game is always kind of a cause for concern, at least from the outside looking in.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about Marathon? Have you been seeing some of the leaks that popped up about this?
Like the most recent thing I saw about Marathon was that, apparently it's back on track as far as development goes. But I
Yeah,
haven't really seen too much as far as like the leaks.
Yeah, so as far as the leaks go, what's been coming down from what we've seen, at least leaking online, has just been some of the responses that have come from the latest alpha builds that have been a lot of players have had a chance to play. The art direction is still really highly praised, even after everything that's happened with that and the changes that they've made to it. And the gunplay rather, is still getting like super highlighted by everyone. Which if you've played Destiny at all, is going to be the good thing about this. The gunplay was never going to be in question. So it's good to hear that at least those kind of like feedbacks that they're getting has been like the gameplay's awesome, the art direction's good. It's just what is that content going to be when it comes out, right? And then what is it going to be for people? So I'm sure there'll be a market for it. We'll just see what it ends up doing and end up offering. People were talking the same thing about Arc Raiders. Was it really going to be a thing? And then, man, look at it, right? All right, this bit of news was posted on our Discord, which shout out to those community members for posting this stuff. Be sure to join our Discord and share your news, your memories, your memes, and more. We love seeing it. I appreciate it. According to reports from Circana Senior Director Matt Piscatella, video game hardware sales are down to almost the lowest total in November they have ever been since 1995. 1.6 million units this year versus 1.4 million in 1995, which, let's remind everyone here, was the era of SNES, Genesis, and the PSX.
Ooh,
Also, what Piscatella shared was the monthly hardware spending, which was a 27% drop from November of last year, marking a 20-year low. The biggest loss, Xbox. The U.S. U.S. Xbox console sales fell 70% year over year, which is due to a wide variety of factors, not to mention the current state of just supply, demand, and what's happening with tariffs. But since we're at the end of the year, let's talk about that, get to know like what's happening year over year with the industry. Piscatella did drop a little bit of information as well. Let's have a little fun game with that. Can you guys name some of the best-selling games of the year? Let's try for top 5. What are some games you think hit that top 5 mark?
This year?
Yep, this year. Year to date.
Oh, man.
So keep in mind with this is going to be the list that he offered up with the report was the top 20 games in the US in physical and full game digital from the eShop, PlayStation, Xbox, and PC.
This year, what came out this year?
Expedition 33.
That's definitely one of them.
It is a game.
I would say Night Rain.
Okay.
Maybe.
So Night Rain ended up as rank 13.
Okay.
Last month it was rank 11, but at least through this month through November. So this is going to be from January through November. It's at 13. Night Rain is.
Okay.
Keep in mind this is the full year, so something like Expedition when it released, where did it land in the
Yeah.
release schedule, how many platforms it was on, thinking pure numbers, which is a little bit of a hint because the big ones you kind of think of something like Call of Duty, but we found out, or they
Yeah.
found out the hard way, Black Ops 6 is not done as well as they hoped it would.
No, definitely not that.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Like as far as like top selling games, the first two that come to mind are Expedition 33 and Silksong.
Cool.
Silksong, yeah, that's a good one.
Some good guesses in the chat as well. Silksong also
What
from
about
Blue.
what about Kingdom Come 2?
Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 was 14.
Oh, 13 and
Wow.
14?
Yeah.
Wow, I guess that really close.
Yeah, right in the middle.
Okay.
Couple surprises before I get to the top 5. Rank 17, Forza Horizon 5. So keep in mind that was released on PlayStation this year, and it started topping the PlayStation charts. So that's kind of a big one. Helldivers 2 was 19. That
Oh.
sold really well. Just above
It came
it,
out this year?
in terms of releases, man, yeah, that's just in terms of sales. Keep in mind this is
Oh.
not new releases. This is
Oh, I
top
see.
sales for
sales,
top 20 games in terms of sales, physical and digital. So again,
since its release.
no, this is since the beginning of the year. So
Okay,
it's just for the
this
year.
year.
Sorry,
So it doesn't matter if it came out
no,
this year.
it
just
doesn't.
sales.
It doesn't.
Okay.
And if it did come out this year and it's in the top 20, that's got to be gangbusters,
That's
right? It's
impressive.
got to be
Yeah,
impressive.
yeah.
Well,
So
then if that's the case, I'd probably, as far as just like top 20 game sales, I wouldn't be surprised if Minecraft was still up there.
Minecraft is 16.
Oh,
16.
going backwards.
16.
Huh.
What about Fortnite?
I don't see Fortnite on this list. I mean, Fortnite in terms of like game sales is it free to play, and then it's microtransactions, right?
Yeah.
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 Again, couple surprises. I mentioned Helldivers. Right above Helldivers at 18 is Split Fiction. So Split Fiction did really well this year.
Okay.
Great game. We do have Kingdom Come at 14, Elden Ring at 13. Some ones that you will not be surprised every time we have to talk about like actual sales. Keep in mind, it may be not a game that you play, or maybe you can lament that it's the same game year after year, but it sells. MLB The Show 25 was 12. EA Sports FC 26 was 11. Call of Duty Black Ops 6 was 8, and then Call of Duty's Black Ops 7 was 7 on this list.
Nice.
So 6 is still selling almost as well. Number 10, Ghost of Yotei, is already up to 10 on the list. So that was really cool to see. A little further up, you have, Madden at 6, EA College Sports 26 at 5. Number 4 is Borderlands 4. Number 3, Monster Hunter Wilds. Number 2, NBA 2K26. So that jumped right up to the top. And then the number 1, we talked about it a few weeks ago, is Battlefield 6.
I was going to say a basketball game had to be up there. Or, yeah, a basketball game for sure. That's cool.
Yeah. So, year-to-date chart, kind of cool to see. Getting to the end of the year, just wondering, what sold well, but
good to see that Wilds is still
crazy.
up there.
Yeah, Wilds is still doing really well. I mean, it sold a lot, which is not.
He had a good head start, that's for sure.
You two were talking about how you're looking forward to getting back into the game, weren't you?
I mean, Ace still playing it. Every time I see my PlayStation, he's playing.
Oh yeah,
Wilds. I'm thinking about getting back into it.
But yeah, I've already been getting back into it with the most recent title update, and yeah, that new monster fight that they added for Gogmazios, it's definitely one that's really beefed up the end game, and that's something that Wilds has been needing.
Get beefed.
Get beefed. All right, grain of salt time, everyone. Again, these are just rumors. We're going into the rumor mill. I have a couple for you this week. Always take these as a grain of salt. It's just kind of fun stuff to talk about, see what's kind of being whispered about in the corners of the internet. First off, we're starting with Jez Corden, the industry insider that has a pretty good track record. It definitely broke the news about the Oblivion HD remaster that came out. Well, they're back at it again with this leak. This time it's related to Elder Scrolls 6. So while fans wait patiently, he's reporting that Bethesda Bethesda is getting support from Microsoft and integrating Unreal Engine technologies into the ES6 engine. So I know if you've played Bethesda games, you're very familiar with the creation engine that they've been rolling with for quite a while. Well, it sounds like that creative engine that the company is known for is going to leverage aspects of Unreal and get them under the hood of their in-house tech. The engine refreshes will potentially first be rolled out in Starfield
Really?
updates, basically acting as a like technical
It's
overhaul
neat.
of that game.
Huh.
So that's kind of a cool, interesting stuff. Again, grain of salt. We don't know how true that is, but it would make sense making some updates. Creation has kind
Yeah,
of been
that's
known
pretty
to
basic.
be buggy and have that Bethesda funk to it. But if they're getting support now that Microsoft has pared down its development studios and potentially taking some of those like ideas and getting it into their tech, hey, maybe it'll work out for the better in the end. Uh, Awesome seeing that video up on the screen. I remember when Intergalactics the news broke. Like I love this trailer. I love the vibe. Like it's going to be a game I play because of the vibe. Jason Schreier has penned an article at Bloomberg reporting that employees at Naughty Dog are already crunching on Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet. According to Schreier, employees are working mandatory overtime, working a minimum of 8 extra hours a week and log their time with an internal spreadsheet, maxing out at 60 hours a week. While crunch and overtime have been a discussion before, and some teams have started to stop requiring it, kind of like pushing back on that to improve the like mental state of everyone that works for them. This comes for a game that is still aiming for a 2027 launch. So as Jason reports, quote, if they're crunching now, what will the next year be like?
Almost
So
afraid of that.
crunching already. It sounds like that's crunching for potentially a demo, a playable internal demo. So if they're trying to just crunch now to get that out, like what kind of state is it in? Is it going to release in 2027? What do you guys think about this crunch that's already kicking in potentially?
I mean, crunch is crunch. If I don't know. I guess like if it was part of their contract or when they work there, like that's going to be a thing that's happening. There's transparency behind it. They know what they're getting into. But in this case, in this specific case, you said an extra 8 hours a week. That's 2 hours a day, barely 2 hours a day. So that's not too. That's not too bad.
A
Oh,
minimum of 8 extra
okay,
hours a
gotcha.
week. Yeah,
You know what,
maybe.
man? It's it's part of the industry at this point, and I think that's not too bad of a crunch. Crunch still sucks, in my opinion, but it's one of those things where you're going into a position that you know that thing does exist, and if that company or you're working for it does do crunch or doesn't do crunch, you should know about that ahead of time. That's all I got to say about that.
Right. And like some people in chat are pointing out, like Sony, Renston mentioning that Sony's pointing out they missed deadlines. Andre mentioning that this game could potentially take until 2030. The bigger thing is just to state that this is an article that's already breaking on this. Jason Schreier's had this kind of discussion before. He's written a couple books on it. I've read those books. Just like the nightmare that is game dev, and having worked a little bit on that side of things, it's always interesting for me to hear like early on already crunching. Couple things, like I definitely recommend reading the article if you want to check it out. I only gave a brief overview because again, this is rumor mill stuff. It's what's been reported by him.
Yeah.
It's a lot of it's on unanimous sources. It sounds like there's people that are being forced to come back like to the office, like mandatory 5 days a week when it was 3 days a week before. So people have to kind of like
Yeah, but
scramble to get this
does that
done.
change anything though? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I hate.
Having had that done to me, when especially now having a kid, yeah, it changes
No,
a
no, no. I
lot.
mean,
Having to scramble to get that stuff
that no,
covered.
that's what I mean. It's like I'm on the employee side on this. Like, there's
Okay.
no point of them going to the office if they're just still getting the job done at home. That's kind of what I'm getting at. It's so stupid that I think companies feel that they have to like we need to see their face in order for them to be working, right? Like it's kind of crazy because
Sure. And that would be something that's, the nuance that we don't have. We're not there behind the
sure.
scenes. We don't know what they're trying to push out. And again, if it's them like crunching now to get a playable demo out so they can meet, let's say, a deadline, I can understand that being done. They did say, at least according to Jason Schreier in the article, when it comes to 2026, they're going to reevaluate and be upfront about schedule changes. So it's not like all bad, Naughty Dog's awful. It's just to say, like, this is something that's kind of happening right now. It's a little bit of a shock when it's happening this early in dev and like what
I,
potentially that could
I
cascade
just think it's
into.
weird that the industry like is on this like rubber band of like we need now we're doing crunch, but we have too many people, so we got to lay off a bunch of people. It's like make up your mind. Like who's I mean, it's be like who's to blame, right? It could be simply as bad project management. Who knows?
X Toys for Bob developer Donald Yotomi accidentally revealed on his LinkedIn page that the team were working on a new Spyro title this last year. So, YouTuber content creator Canadian Guy A broke down the potential leaks. Definitely check out his video. He dives into the timeline of developers' work history. Basically, all that is boiling down to potentially pointing towards Spyro 4 being made.
Spyro 4 and Perfect Dark combined.
Which is something that's kind of been, talked about in the past, like little rumors about the new Spyro game. But hey, man, that's what's happening. Last little bit of rumor mill in an interview with Alex Wilton Regan, who was the actress for Joanna Dark in the recently canceled Perfect Dark reboot from the initiative. TheGamer.com reports that the game had delivered multiple milestones and had, quote, entire chapters of voice work recorded by the time it got the
Damn.
axe. So big thing, like that sounds maybe a little clickbaity when you read that, because I was like, man, they how much of this game did they have finished? Because you guys remember seeing that trailer when it came out, right? Like it looked incredible, but you also remember the kind of conversation that happened after that trailer came out, and then we found out that Perfect Dark was being axed and Initiative was being
Yep.
closed. It's still completely unknown what state that game was in. Rumors swirled about how that demo we saw at its reveal was not indicative of where the game was in development. Basically, a lot of people were coming out and saying that it was largely a faked slice, that the game itself was nowhere near. But seeing the article and kind of reading through the interview, there was a lot of mocap that was completed, like months of mocap, and dialogue was recorded for during its like life cycle. So this game has been in dev for like 7 years. It did get like a pretty heavy reboot at one point. I remember that, but the initiative has been around working on that for quite some time. Um, Look, it hasn't stopped word of mouth behind the scenes discussing that the game was nowhere near completion. But it's pretty crazy to hear like so much work was done after like we heard about the initiative being made and then seeing that vertical slice and just kind of like getting hyped for it and then seeing it get axed. Like it's crazy, man. The amount of work that was done that potentially is just gone
Agree.
forever.
I agree. Sucks. It's probably gonna get sold to
That's
some
it.
awkward developer, and then they have to make it.
Well, that's the thing, right? Now Microsoft owns the rights
Yeah.
for it. Are we ever going to see that they're going to license that out? Probably not. It might be DOA, and that's it. That's
DOA
it for it. But
alive.
yeah, hey, we're not getting another DOA. Anyway, that's what I got for the week,
All right.
guys. Thanks, Chad, for chipping in as well. I
All right,
appreciate it.
chat. That is it for Quick Bites and Rumor Mill. Oh, where's the button? All right, coming up, we got a little segment here. That's not something I conjured up. That I'd like to hear from everybody, including the chat. So as we're talking about this, I'd like to hear your input. But we're just gonna do a quick segment on holiday wish lists. That time of the year, what do you want under the tree? What do you want that's coming up? Since stuff is being delayed anyway. And also, the question goes: if you can keep 3 games throughout the history of video games, and you only play those 3 games for the rest of your life, which games would they be? So let's start with the first one, part 1, holiday wish lists. What are 3 currently released games you genuinely hope show up under your Christmas tree? All right, let's go one by one. Nick, go ahead.
Do I have to pick all 3 or just
One at a time.
time?
We could
go
bounce
through a
back and
list?
forth.
Okay, because I'm put on the spot, man. Under my Christmas tree, I would love to see Ghost of Yotei. I couldn't afford to buy it. I can't afford to buy it. I loved Tsushima, and I was at a point where I had to replace a TV that wasn't working anymore. So I have a newer TV, which is awesome. Had to save up for it. I have to make some magic happen to get it. I had some help for my Christmas gift, but being able to play that game on a newer TV would be fantastic. Like I said, I love the first one. I really want to play this one, and I love Samurai Champloo, so I just want to play that Champloo mode.
So lo-fi while slaying. Yeah, okay. Love
I
that.
feel that.
That's cool. That's
That would be my first choice for
that's
what I wish
fine.
was under my
All right.
Christmas tree.
Ace, what about you, buddy?
My first choice gotta be Digimon Storytime Stranger. Like
Why that one?
well, I'm been a huge fan of the Digimon games pretty much since Digimon World, the first one. And I got the chance to try out the demo for Time Stranger, absolutely loved it. And just the expanded roster of monsters that you can pick up is Like it's one of the big reasons why I really do want to, grab that. So,
Cool.
it's not just me being a fan, but the gameplay itself is solid.
Does it play like the other Digimon games? Like
Yeah.
Cyber Sleuth and all the other ones?
Yeah.
Plays like that? Okay, cool. Yeah, I didn't know too much about it. I know it's pretty new, so that's I know I knew of it. Me, the first one, I haven't played Absolem yet, so I'm gonna play that. And there is a physical copy, so I am taking my Amazon gift card and buying that for myself for Christmas.
Go
I
ahead.
am my own
Nice.
Santa Claus.
Right?
There you go.
That's right. Santa's right here. It is first of all, I'm the type of guy that like does not FOMO's never been a thing for me, but I like just like people talking about it and then people playing it, randomly Guardian Heroes. And I was like, you know what? I like beat 'em ups. I love Guardian Heroes. There's no other reason for me not to be playing this game, right? So
Right.
I'm sold. So that's my first pick.
All right, my second pick. So
Think about-
sometimes when I'm thinking about games that I want for like Christmas and
Mhm.
stuff, I think about games that I wish I could get as a gift because I don't feel comfortable spending my own money on it. Something that I really want to play, but I don't really feel like I can justify spending new game prices on it because I don't know if I'm going to love it. It's something I want, and that's going to be Civ 7.
Civ 7. Okay. Fair.
Yeah. Huge fan of Civ 6 and the older Civ games. I really like the graphical overhaul with 7. James, you and I were talking about like, hey man, I can't wait for this game to come out. The game comes out and it's a big letdown. there's still a lot of issues and they're still
Oh,
trying to
really?
get through it. So for me,
Sad.
it's like I can't justify getting it in its current shape for a brand new game price. So I would love to play it still because I'm just such a fan of those games, like 4X games. I love Civ. Like I would love to get that under my Christmas tree, but it's kind of for a reason that I don't feel comfortable spending the full price. Like for Axis, all those games. If anyone from that team, the Civ team, is listening, I would love that game.
Chat is Die Hard
I just
Arcade a
can't
Christmas
afford it.
game?
What's
Is Die
that?
Hard Arcade a Christmas game, chat?
I mean, Die Hard is.
What about the game? What's this? Oh yeah, it's the loading screen. I remember this. All right, hey, so what's your next item on the tree?
Next item I would love to get my hands on, like hook a brother up. Shinobi Art of Vengeance.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I have been
Yeah.
like, again, another one where I played the demo, absolutely loved it. I've been wanting to get Shinobi, especially with the with the extra boss fights that they're adding to it. But with the other stuff I picked up this year, just haven't had the cash for it.
Hey man, stuff is getting more difficult to get right around this time of year. So I get you. We're all feeling it. We're all feeling
Speaking of Death Adder, by the way.
it. All right. Yeah, Shinobi was on my list. Ragebound is also on my list too, but I'm not gonna use that for the list tonight. But there is another retro-ish game that I've been eyeing that most people have been playing on stream, and that's Terminator 2D Fate. Terminator Fate 2.
Oh
Heck
yeah,
yeah.
good choice.
And I've been watching people play it, and I'm like, oh, this is the game that I really wanted when I was like 16 years old. Actually, probably like 14 years old, maybe younger, on the Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis.
Right? Like with Super NES games like freaking like Judge Dredd, for example.
Yep. Doom Troopers, remember that?
Oh yeah.
That was pretty cool. It was made by Playmates, which is really interesting at the time if you think about it, because they made toys. So
Yeah.
that was pretty fun. But yeah, Terminator, is it Terminator 2D no fate, right?
Yeah.
I think it's called. There's a specific, me, I love my collector's edition, so I gotta show you guys. There's Terminator 2D no fate collectors. Now, my parents don't buy me anything because I'm old, but they are pretty giving. They love giving gift cards because that's what they give when they can. But I did see this. I didn't even know this was a thing until it was a thing. So let me see if I can share this tab with you guys. This is pretty sweet. Look at this thing.
Bro.
So you get the cool lithograph steelbook, of course. Nick would love that.
Wow.
Art
Wow.
book. You get this cool coin that's like embossed with like the T800 on there. And I believe the box is supposedly the box that contains Skynet. Right? Like that's like
Dude, that is
drive
awesome.
the drive that they take out of Skynet. I think
Mhm.
that's what it's supposed to be. So it's pretty cool. Like, you know, it's not on my mandatory. I gotta buy this because I'm saving that up for Phantom Blade Zero. But I got some time for that one. But this is one of the ones I wanted under. Was that number two? That was number two.
Well, that was number 2.
Last one for
Man.
that's for the wish list.
I'm still thinking in terms of like games I'd like to play. Man, there's so many like collector's editions from like limited run and stuff I'd absolutely love, but I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. Honestly, a game again, I can't afford to go outside my comfort zone with a lot of games. I don't get the chance to buy a lot. I honestly haven't been able to play through it. I would love to play it under my Christmas tree. I'd like to get Expedition 33.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
I know it'd be up my alley, and seeing everything about it, watching gameplay, and seeing obviously the awards a lot of people are talking about it. You get to see a lot more stuff on your feed about it. Like I'm very interested in playing it. I just can't afford to just drop money and go pick it up. But that's definitely one I'd like to play. I'd really like to check that out. So having it under my Christmas tree would be a great choice.
Cool. Like, and then I think Amazon has like the Mirror Edition, and GameStop occasionally has the Lumiere Edition, which is like their exclusive version of the release. Steelbook, as always, extra DLC, stuff like that.
Oh, don't tell me it has a steelbook. I don't.
Yeah.
So
Under my Christmas tree, I like Expedition 33 with the steelbook.
what about you, Ace?
So for my third one now, I was actually, taking a little bit of time to, look back through everything that came out this year. And I'm like, man, there's a good number of games that came out. A good few that I missed. For my third one, and this shouldn't come as any surprise, but this would also mean I would need to get a Switch 2 for it, which still tough to justify it. But I would like to get my hands on Hyrule Warriors 2 Age of Imprisonment.
Does that change anything on the is that a sequel or just like expansion?
That's the sequel.
Full on sequel.
Mhm.
Hyrule Warriors 2. Okay. I haven't been following Switch games.
But yeah, I definitely want to get that one because I've been having fun with, I had a blast with the original Hyrule Warriors. Age of Calamity is still a solid title, even on the original Switch. But with a lot of the stuff that I've seen, as far as just like what was added to the game in addition to it being a sequel, I definitely want to get my hands on, or I would like to get my hands on at some point, Age of Imprisonment. But barring that, Pirate Yakuza.
Well, hey, if you ever want to borrow my copy, you certainly can.
You got it physical?
Yeah. I buy every Yakuza game physical.
Just had to make sure.
Yeah, no, I got the Japanese version. I had a friend go to Japan and get the Japanese version of Ishin before it came to the US.
We'll talk.
Yeah, no, I'll send you some pics. I'll show up in your DMs. Check out my Pirate Yakuza.
Check out this Yakuza, bro. All right, my last game that is out that I want to see under my Christmas tree to bring back a little bit of a 10-12-year-old James. I would like to see a Ninja Turtles game under my Christmas tree. Which game it is, I'll show you right now.
I would imagine it would be
the Cowabunga collection.
I already have that.
I would imagine Splintered Fate.
Yeah, but is it this version of Splintered Fate?
Brother.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. Yeah.
You know me, I'm extra. I gotta get, if they have it, I get it. So
my man has a room full of collector's editions unopened.
I'm drowning in collector's editions. It's terrible. So, but yes, the reason why is because like I think one of my favorite memories as a kid was opening up TMNT 2, the arcade game, for Christmas/birthday. They kind of combined those when I was a kid, right? and to open up like a Ninja Turtles game on Christmas Day, like that to me is just like, whoa, that's so cool. That feeling that you got that when you were a kid, you just get it back, no matter how
Right?
old you are.
That's a core
Right?
memory.
It's a core memory. This is why Memory Card Chronicles is a thing. This is why we do this show. Even now, like 30 plus years later, I can still relive that experience when I was 10, 12 years old with modern day gaming like this. So, even if it's coming from me, I think it's cool that if I open it up myself. But if I got it from like my family or something, and this was under my tree, and when I woke up on Christmas Day, I think it would be just something special. So this is my third game for my holiday wish list. Okay, awesome. And if you guys don't know what Splintered Fate is, that's like a roguelike TMNT game, which is pretty cool. It's kind of like Hades, so it's kind of neat. All right, so then we're moving to the next one here. Top 3 upcoming games on your wish list. What are 3 upcoming games you're hopeful for? Focus on the creative vision, what you want the game to get right, versus hope over hype. That's a good one. Hope over hype. All right. Who wants to start?
I'll start this one.
Okay.
2026, Tides of Annihilation.
Brother, that is a good one. I want to put some gameplay up.
Man. Y'all know me. Character action games, beat 'em ups, that's my thing. But what Tides of Annihilation does for me, it's the content. It's another game tackling Arthurian legend. And I want to see more stuff like that. I want to see more stuff that takes different different legends, different pantheons, and can spin them into more content for awesome games with especially stuff with truckloads of action like Tides of Annihilation has been showing off thus far.
Arthur May Cry.
Yes.
Okay.
Literally have all the knights of the round either as like additional characters or just as a finisher.
I'm always down for like mythology in video games. Like that's why I wanted God of War was super fun for me. This is gonna be super fun for me. Anything Chinese mythology, super fun for me. Like I love that stuff.
Mythology. Let's talk about one that failed because every time I hear mythology, I think of this game. It's Too Human.
Which game?
Too Human.
Oh, Too Human. What mythology
Too
was that?
Human. The Norse.
Really? See,
Yeah.
they did a bad job telling me what that game was about.
You literally play as the Aesir. Like it's that game was. Oh, I wanted it to be so good. Look, one of the I was going to mention this at the end. Like the retrospective, one of my votes was going to be Silicon Knights, just because I remember them so vividly in my mind. But yeah, man, Silicon Knights coming out with Too Human. Every time I hear mythology, I think about that game because that thing was steeped in it. This was way before we started getting a whole bunch of like Vikings, the TV show. We started getting Assassin's Creed going to Vikings and Vinland Saga. Like this predated that. This was Norse mythology in 2008. It was a very bad game.
Dude,
like Rinston said, potential,
crazy.
sure, but man, that was.
Hey, you never know. It could come back in some way or form. Never say never.
No, I'm sure they put that in an underground vault, and they poured concrete over the top. It's done.
No, they're gonna call it Thrice Human.
Oh,
it's gonna be. That's what it's.
Shut your mouth. Why don't you tell me about the game you're looking forward to?
Boo this man!
Me? Guys, come on. You know what game that's coming up that I'm looking for? Do you even watch the stream chat? We all know it's Phantom Blade Zero.
I was gonna say Uma Musume, but
no, bro. I already have that.
There's a new one.
Yeah. Did you guys hear about how like that they did a Uma Musume charity and they're using that to fund a new home for some retired horse, which is pretty cool.
That's neat.
They just get it. They get their community.
They get their audience.
Yeah.
Wholesome.
As a former community manager, spot on. That's good.
So, yeah, if y'all been living under a rock, well, Phantom Blade Zero has been my anticipated game for quite some time now. Probably since the first concept trailer where they were showing all the wuxia stuff. And I know that wasn't going to be the final like cut of the game because I know it's like a concept, kind of like when we saw the Virtua Fighter like fighting concept demo. I was like, oh, this looks sick, but you know it's not going to be like that. So Phantom Blade Zero was like that was sold to me from the start. The vision, the character design, like the world, like everything about this, I'm all about. Right? It's giving me Ninja Gaiden, Neo, like all those games combined into one. Devil May Cry. So it's like me, it's like all my favorite games in an era had a baby, Phantom Blade Zero. That's pretty much well said. I don't even know if there's a physical for this when it's coming. I know when it's coming out now. Finally, thank goodness. Or and what kind of plans they have for this game? Like, is
Mhm.
there season pass? Is there
Oh,
like collector's edition? You know, stuff
speak,
like that.
speaking of which, yeah, like Renston said it. If Phantom Blade Zero is your thing, then God Slayer is going to be right up your alley.
Yes, the Avatar game we always wanted. I
Yep.
yeah, definitely saw that trailer. Definitely was very impressed with it, and that's exactly what I said. This is the Avatar game we always wanted,
Word.
but never got. Right.
This
So
looks like a game I will watch GQ Asian Dude play on Twitch and never play myself.
hey, I'm okay with that, and I plan on playing this on the hardest mode because I want to get the maximum like gameplay out of this thing
Oh yeah, definitely gonna watch that. I'm not touching that. Ugh.
for sure. I do want to watch you play like Onimusha or something like that, something a little bit lighter.
Yeah, Onimusha when that comes out, I definitely want to play it.
Yeah.
That's one I've had on my list. It's not in my top three.
What about?
Uh,
Sorry, go ahead.
go ahead, no, please.
I was gonna say, what are your feelings on Pragmata?
Split.
Really? Because
Yeah,
it's pretty interesting right now. Yeah.
it looks interesting, but it's one of those things like I don't have the bandwidth right now to go outside my comfort zone too much.
Okay.
It's one
Right.
of those things like I know I have limited time as a new dad. So when I'm looking at these games, I feel this is like an issue I've had. I feel like I'm muted in my response unless it's something I'm really interested in. Because it's just like I'll get to it eventually. I'll hear cool things about it. I'll hear my friends or watch my friends play it in the background. It's just that's where my life is, which is why my first pick for these three is a cop out. I'm picking GTA 6. Like
Hey,
I I
there it is.
I
Yeah, fair.
knew I was looking forward to it this year. I set aside money to make sure I'd have it for it because I'm very much looking forward to it.
Yeah.
And it getting delayed into 2026 makes me super super sad, obviously. But I do know that when it does come out, I'm putting aside time to play that. It just looks too good. And the stuff that we're hearing about being able to enter so many different of these buildings, like having such a large percentage, like you can go inside, seeing where they're going with the story as it's evolved, as they've released these trailers and released the website and talked more about it. Like I'm already bought in. I'm really interested to see what they're doing with the story because I put in a significant portion of time into GTA 5 and loved it. Um, and it was one that I remember when GTA 5 came out. Like I of course played the heck out of 3. I remember recording a video for Spanish class where we voiced over in GTA 3.
Right.
We used that as like we were recording us playing that and using it for Spanish like language. We had to make a video and that's what we used. So I liked 3. I played 4. I enjoyed it except for some aspects. Um, 5 I just went deep into. Online has grown into such a crazy thing that I just can only imagine what they're going to do with 6. I'm
Yeah.
supremely hyped for this game. Obviously, the industry is as a whole. I'm not. It's not some kind of hot take, but I just really feel like they've dialed in the story with 6 and the way they're presenting it. I'm very interested to see where it's going to go. It's given me a chance to be like, oh, I can play GTA 5 again, where I have this like really solid single player story where I can take my time in it and really appreciate it. So I don't know. I'm like I said, uber excited for this, and I'm really interested to see what they're going to do. Am I worried about it slipping again? Sure. Yeah. I mean, hopefully this is it now, right?
Yeah, I'm aboard with you on that one. This is anticipated for gaming culture, for the like the benchmark of what's next and what's to come. Like, because I feel like we're kind of getting away from this open world game thing, right? Into I don't know, open environment. It's a little bit smaller, but still kind of open world-ish. Like Arc Raiders is pretty open world, but not
Mhm.
really because it's in zones. So it's interesting how this will serve. I know it will do good, but how it will
Yeah,
survive
we know it's
next
gonna
gen.
sell like gangbusters.
Yeah,
To your point, games nowadays are huge, and they have to kind of compartmentalize them because they're unable to handle this scale, or systems can't handle the engine and the way they've built these games because these
yeah,
games are getting massive,
yeah.
right?
The
And
physics of
especially now we're talking about like RAM shortages and stuff, right? Like,
yes,
these things are not going to be able to handle it. Um, but this game, they've said from the get-go, is designed to be open world. It's going to be
yeah,
relatively seamless. You're not going to have these compartmentalized things except where necessary. Like, we saw what they did with five was an incredible, like, expansive, sprawling kind of feel. But seeing it in this kind of fidelity, potentially with this kind of like in-depth storytelling, from what I'm getting from these like vibes, like, yeah, man, I know it's going to push limits. It's going to sell like gangbusters and set new sales records, but that's just kind of where I'm at now. I'm really looking forward to it, and I just wish I could play it because I know I'm going to enjoy it.
Cool. Ace, what about you?
Third pick for next year, or
This should
at least
be your second.
oh, this would be my
We
second.
can go to three, man. You can go to three and then back to two. I'm not going to judge.
Okay, well, second pick for next year, Dynasty Warriors 3 Remastered.
You didn't
No
see that coming, did you?
surprising, absolutely no one.
He left the room.
Yo, he just got up and left. Oh no!
He put his glasses down.
Oh shit!
What's this? What's this gameplay?
My man got up and bounced.
It's Lil Boo. Chat, do we even know? Do we even want to ask Ace why he wants to play this game? We kind of know already.
Y'all
You
know.
if you follow him on his channel, right? Ace Nelson.
I broke him.
You know he's our Muso man. He's the guy.
But I mean, seriously, take the game that got me into the series, still one of my favorites, and then juice it up with a lot of the tech and a lot of the gameplay elements from Dynasty Warriors Origins. Easy lock, no question.
Do you think they're gonna change like the way you acquired the fourth weapon or anything
God,
like
I
that?
hope not.
It's gonna be all the same, huh? They're not gonna change any like quality of life stuff in it.
I'm definitely thinking they're going to be changing some quality of life, but as far as like actual gameplay, again, I really hope they don't change around the gameplay because just the way you actually went through and
Yeah.
progressed your character with, finding the items to up your stats and also again unlocking those weapons and the accessories. Like that was sweat equity at its best.
Sweat equity. That's a new one.
Sweckity.
Sweckity. Get sweat on. That's wild. Okay. Well, I'm trying to think of my next game, unless you have it already, Nick. But I'm trying to think.
Oh, I know what my three are, like, definitely. So my second pick
Yeah.
doesn't officially have a release date, but it's still slated for 2026. So again, I'm kind of cheating here a little bit. It's Fable. I am really excited for the Fable reboot. I loved the original, and it still holds a special place in my own gaming like heart, in my own gaming pantheon. The reboot, if we're talking about creative vision, one thing I'm worried about, and Fable's kind of lost its way a little bit. Like, there's been definitely, we're not throwing shade at anyone, but it's definitely been on like the downslope for a long time. And just kind of seeing, where it's gone as they've tried to take the Fable brand to different kinds of games with like Legends and stuff like that. But I was really excited when they announced this. I remember the original launch trailer. The last trailer that released, one of the things that I am personally particular about is I really want Fable to still hit that quintessential like British humor that Lionhead was known for. I don't want them to be too try hard with the comedy. That's something that I was a little concerned about, especially with the last couple trailers. I'm a little nervous about like the direction with it, right? But I have been looking forward to this one. I am really hopeful, but I'm going to be a little hesitant because reboots, especially reboots of big first party titles, are not safe from Xbox cuts and Microsoft cuts nowadays. So I don't know what kind of situation this game still finds it's in, where it's at. I mean, the fact that we still don't have any kind of information beyond 2026, I'm just like, oh, I hope it's out next year.
Yeah.
So that's me kind of cheating a little bit. It's using the Forza tech engine as well, so it's using kind of some different tech. So I'm a little interested to see how they're going to roll that out. The last little like bits of combat we got, I think, still is fine and nails what I was looking for. But again, it really comes down to that humor. If I can't walk around and name my character where people can start shouting out "arse face" or "chicken chaser," like,
Yeah.
what am I doing? Like, why am I even playing this game?
Yeah, for sure.
There goes old arse face.
My number 2 isn't exactly a brand new game, but it's definitely an expansion to a game that I have been playing. And that's basically the Vessel of Vessel of Hatred for Diablo 4.
Oh yeah.
Good to hear that it's coming out April. It's kind of cool that you can play the Paladin now, if you pre-order it, which is kind of a cheap way to do it. But I like the fact that they give you something for pre-ordering. I think that's kind of neat. But I've been a big fan of like Diablo the story and kind of just like that whole universe. So, simply put, just Diablo Soul Hatred. Looking forward to it. And apparently there is uh, one more character to be announced too when that game comes out. And then people are thinking it's the Amazon from Diablo 2 because the new region that we're going to be getting is Skobos Island, which is by lore that's where the Amazons are.
Ah, interesting.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, I might dive back in once that comes around. It's definitely something like you said. I loved Paladin. That was one of my most played classes in D2. Like I'm interested to see what they're going to do with it, especially after falling off the Diablo train.
Yeah, absolutely.
Would you have rather, and this was the discussion that was kind of happening when they were announcing it and people were talking about leaks and stuff, would you have rather had Crusader back or Paladin?
Paladin.
Yeah.
Paladin because I feel like they're going in the D2 route where they want to bring back those characters. And Crusader kind of had its time. And lore-wise, I think also the Paladin fits better into what's happening now versus the Crusader. Like Frozen.
Yeah, no, I see that Frozen image.
Good timing. I don't know.
At least you weren't doing anything embarrassing.
Right. Like talking.
Yeah, right.
Cool. Yeah, that's just my thing. Looking forward to it. I got a lot of time from now in April. Got a bunch of seasons, but hey, there's a lot of games to play. I'm not gonna just sit here and wait for Diablo 4 and then to come out.
Yeah, still something you're looking forward to. Ace, what do you got?
For my third
Samurai Warriors HD.
Bro, I would be excited because I wanna see 5.
Well, now for my third one for next year. God, I wish I could remember the name for it, which really just irks me. But I think it was like Tides of Time or something. But there's this really, that's what it was. Threads of Time.
Isn't that a PS2 game?
That's Threads of Fate.
Oh, my bad.
No, Threads.
Yeah, come on.
Threads of Time. Well, okay, if y'all remember how I absolutely loved Chained Echoes as I was playing through it, and Threads of Time definitely gives me that.
That's the wrong one.
It gives me that Chrono Trigger, but Chained Echoes vibe.
Yeah, the animation and stuff I'm looking at for this looks great on the Steam page for it.
Yep.
Oh yeah, the Chrono Trigger game.
That joint.
See, it's funny. All I have to do is see the picture. I'm like, no, that game. Yeah. No, you're right, man. This has kind of been forgotten, but this is not even funny how this is Chrono Trigger.
When was this announced?
I think we were watching this on a Summer Games Fest, right?
Mhm.
Like we were all on stream. I think 2 years ago or last year.
Yeah.
Because we were like, bro, this is Chrono Trigger. We did this thing.
Yeah, that's one I think I'm gonna, now that I'm on here, I'm gonna add that to my my wish list as well.
This is cool.
I completely forgot about this one.
And is this the same dev as Sea of Stars?
Hey man, this is why we do this on this pod too, and have these kind of questions and why we appreciate
hold
chat.
on. Pause. What the hell? Even this map layout is Guardia 800. I
Right.
feel like this is so close
That
to
is
that.
600 AD. No
Yeah.
question.
Oh my god. Okay, that's cool. I'm not complaining. I think it's cool. And matter of fact, this is what I mean. This is what I bring up all the time. Like, I don't know how much effort or work this style of game is, but like if Square decided to make their older games like this, I'm still on board for it. I think it's so cool. That's why like Octopath seems really cool to me. Like, what is it, Triangle Strategy? Like that style of game just looks really fascinating to me. Chat knows I played the Yuden Chronicle, right? And I enjoyed it thoroughly, even though it's not a high
And
graphical
look, they got Robo in there. They didn't think we'd notice, but we did.
Threads of time. Chrono Bullet. Good job. That was a good one. Wish listing it now.
Yeah, we just added it to mine. Thanks for the reminder.
All right. I think I got a link from you for this last one. Let me see.
Oh, for my final pick. Hell yeah. I mean mine is GTA. This might be my most anticipated just because it's been delayed multiple times and it's something I've been looking forward to for quite a while. To set up the video you're about to put up, which is the most recent release date trailer. Set in an alternate history 1980s America after a nuclear disaster has devastated the land. You play Reach, an AI trapped in the body of a human, as they uncover the secrets of the enigmatic Phoenix Corporation. Run, climb, and fight your way through this dystopian cyberpunk world with tight and responsive combat. The retro futuristic world is brought to life in stunning detail with handcrafted pixel art, which is enhanced with modern effects to give replaced its dark and gritty vibe. Man, when this trailer first dropped for this, I was sold instantly. It reminded me of another game. I think it was called The Last Night.
Mhm.
Which was one that's in dev hell now. It's super small team. I don't know if we'll ever see it, but I'm really into the cyberpunk vibe and that kind of like
Yeah,
retro
this
futurism anyway. And
cool.
this most recent trailer just like sold me even more on it. It'd been delayed multiple times. And then seeing this like actual like release date trailer, I was so excited for. And I don't know if you two've seen these trailers before. I think I showed the first like
You showed the first
announcement
one.
trailer. Yeah,
Yeah.
the announcement trailer for it.
I was
But yeah,
already like, this is cool.
this looks great. It looks incredible, and now that we've got a little more information on the story and stuff,
Mhm.
I cannot wait. Especially with like all the changes and the advent of like the pixel games. I've gotten really into like Vampire Survivors this last year, and then this with the like cyberpunk vibe and just like some of these shots, man. The
Yeah.
like modern updates to this style, I think just really hits this spot where this game I think is going to be a hit, and I think it's something where a lot of people need to check it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's like I said, every vibe about it, and a lot of the movies and media that I consume and love. Like,
That's so cool.
yeah, it's really really cool. And then that title too. Oh man, I can't wait. Like I said, it's been delayed multiple times. I can't wait for it, and now we have an official date.
Yes.
It's giving me like I
Ooh,
feel like that protagonist is gonna be like, I'm a clone, like Total Recall. Like
March
I feel like that's what
12.
it's gonna be.
That's going to be a tough one because, like, literally, March 12 replaced, and then that Dynasty Warriors remastered hits on the 19th.
Well, priorities, Ace, we know.
Yeah, priorities, right?
We
I just
know.
Either way, between the three of us, those games are getting covered.
yeah, definitely going to be playing that one.
I think
And
so too.
But the moment you
it
said,
checks too many boxes, man.
right, the moment you said alternate history, though, I thought you were actually going to mention Showa American Story.
That game.
Yeah,
Which that one still looks pretty fun.
Fair
too.
enough.
That game is what is it? High school zombie schoolgirl all over again. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
So
I'm a huge fan of Blade Runner, that aesthetic, definitely. So the thought of this kind of covering AI and post-apocalyptic and like alternate 1980s, and then just the
Oh,
vibe
yeah.
and the like I said, the update they've done to that kind of like Pixar art thing that we've seen with a lot of like side-scrolling games. I've just been sold on it so many times from the moment I first saw it. So that's what I'm looking forward to, man. And that's my last pick for
cool.
2026.
Did everybody get number 3 already?
No, Ace, did you have a third one?
Yeah, my number 3 was Tides of Time.
Okay.
I mean,
There's a time,
I
Dynasty
can't count.
Warriors and Tides of Annihilation. Okay.
yeah.
Cool. Phantom Blade Zero, Diablo 4, and I think it's me that needs the last one.
Yep.
Okay, gotcha. Uh, as you can tell, I'm also a fan of GTA 6. No, actually, that is probably one of the games that I'm looking forward to coming out sure as well. There's so many to kind of keep up. Like, I want to play Onimusha, I want to play Pragmata, right? Like, those are already gonna be like, games I'm gonna put on my list to play. But like, which game am I excited for? Of course, is those two that I just named, of the Vessel of Hatred expansion, and also the uh what do we call this? Phantom Blade Zero. If Godslayer or the Godslayer seems pretty good, or is it the Fallen Gods or the Godslayer?
The Godslayer.
The Godslayer looks pretty good, and we don't even know what else could be announced, next year also. So, but Onimusha, definitely, I want to come back to that. I want to like play it. I want to kind of see if the other games tie in some way or form, because they do a good job of tying in those old games in a subtle way, right? So I'm excited whether they're going to continue with that or just a complete new reboot for that. So let my last one be Onimusha for now, because there is a lot to look forward to. Maybe Devil May Cry 6, maybe. Maybe. All right, move on to our last one here. 3 games for the rest of your life. If you could only keep 3 games for the rest of your gaming life, which would they be? Rules: there's no ranking, no defending, focus on longevity and meaning of the game.
Okay.
Here's some help. Maybe replayability could be a factor, emotional resonance, systems depth, comfort versus challenge. Kind of give us an explanation of what the game continues you to give you, and also why it matters to you over time.
James, do you have one?
SimCity.
The first, the OG?
No. So I talked about this last stream. I say right now, SimCity 2013 is probably the most streamlined SimCity game. It's like you put me on a plane on a flight to Japan, which is going to take 14 hours. I'll play SimCity for 12. Like, that's just how fast time goes when I play that game, because I'm zoned in, I'm locked in, and once I'm done with the city, I move on to the next one, build another one. It doesn't get tired to me. Kind of like maybe Civ for you, right? Like, Civ is just like you play until you have stuff to do.
Right.
Like one more turn. It's kind of like that.
Yeah, keep clicking. It could be 4 a.m. It doesn't matter.
So,
Ace,
yeah.
do you got
My
one?
first game that I could think of right off the bat, Chrono Trigger. I mean, hell, if I were to speed run that game, it's at least 15 hours, but that game's got a lot of got a lot of meaning for me. A lot of emotional resonance. So it's just it's a gotta have it kind of game, as far as if I'm locked into like a few specific games that I can play for, like, from here on out.
So Renstan 4893 said Secret of Mana, Seiken Densetsu 3. I think that's also Secret of Mana, and Crosscode. Crosscode is an RPG, right? And I froze again. Awesome. That's random. There you go. Cool. The other two, I would say some sort of fighting game. Fighting games have a limitless kind of like replay value for me. Which fighting game is it? Oh God, that might be a hard one, because there's so many out there. Geez, that's tough. I'm gonna say it's got to be 2D. Maybe like Third Strike is a good one, because like I feel like if I had that game for the longest time, I could master the parry. Like, if I was like if I had that game till the end of time and I played it every day, like the next time I fight somebody, I'll probably just parry everything that they have, because I would just memorize all the frames, memorize the feeling of all the characters.
Makes sense.
Because that game takes time to master.
I'm gonna cheat again a little bit, because I know I'd play this every day if I could. World of Warcraft Burning Crusade.
Just World of Warcraft in general?
World of Warcraft Burning Crusade.
Specifically, nothing after that, nothing before?
I wouldn't mind. So this is the thing. It's like we have to pick 3 titles, right,
Yeah.
for the rest of our lives. For me, especially after going back and replaying Classic, I feel like Burning Crusade is kind of the peak for me. Originally, I would have said Wrath of the Lich King, hitting that third one, going through
Yeah.
ICC and Uldum and all those ones. Like that's when I like played heavily. But going back and replaying again, I didn't realize how much I missed that era of Burning Crusade, which would include everything in vanilla up through Burning Crusade by choosing that one. Where it went after that, it was kind of gamified. It was modernized. Not that that's a problem. There's people who like it, but it lost that classic WoW feel. That kind of thing where I feel like I could spend hundreds of hours walking around this world and still discover something new 20 years later. It's one of those ones that you feel like you know the systems well enough, but you can always improve a little bit, or you meet new people. It was about the social atmosphere, the people that I met through that kept me kind of coming back and relearning and trying different classes, and then getting into PvP, and then getting into like end game raiding. Like it is a game that I would play for the rest of my life, and if I only had to choose 3, I would pick there. That's where the sweet spot would be for me, just because the end game in that felt more epic to me than the end game of ICC, even though I love ICC as a raid in Wrath of the Lich King. It's just something about that Burning Crusade era. So, like I said, it's cheating a little bit because it's an MMO, but hey, man, if I'm going to choose 3 games, that's got to be one of them for me.
Okay. Andre says his is Devil May Cry 1, Soul Calibur 2, and Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty. There's a lot of 2s in there. Not Devil May Cry 2?
Well, now you mentioned your second long-term game being a fighting game, and I was honestly right there with you. I'm on that same track. Again, it's got to be something with a lot of replay value, and the first one that really comes to mind, especially for me, not only has replay value, but again, another fighting game that actually has a lot of emotional resonance for me, that being King of Fighters 11.
Okay. Why specifically 11?
Why specifically 11?
There's a lot of them.
True. But with 11, it's had a great roster, and aside from that, it's one that, I mean, like under normal circumstances, I would have picked 2003 because that's the location test, the one where I helped Flintstone a car through an intersection so that we could get to the arcade.
That's dedication for you folks.
Right. But 11 takes everything from KOF 2003 and excuse me, and really refines it, really polishes it up. And especially with the PS2 version, you've got the additional characters that were added in as well. So it's a great game all around.
Okay. KOF 11?
Mhm.
Right? That's after 2002? Or
That's after 03.
After 03. Okay. Oh yeah, the one with like supposedly the Baki character in it.
Yep.
That weird one with the card guy. What's his name?
One.
Yeah, okay, I remember now. Yeah, that was like also I noticed like that's when the art really like shifted over in KOF because the next one was 12, right?
Mhm.
And then that's when they really went into the pixel artwork.
Yeah.
Really mastered it in 13. So God bless that team. Whoever finds that team and whoever they start working for, they should show that portfolio of KOF 13 should be like, you're hired. This is amazing. Like they did some magic during the time. So about that. Okay, third game for me, over all time. Man, tough one because I love SimCity a lot. Like I could probably just live with that the rest of my life. Second one, Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, because I really want to master all the systems in that game. Or one of the hardest fighting games / Street Fighter games. The fourth one was like the third one was either gonna be like a game like SimCity where there's like an endless gameplay loop, or some sort of like story like Chrono Trigger, like yourself. And it's tough because like I feel like if you can only, to me, when you read one book and you read it again, it loses its like mysticism over time. Because I was gonna say like Final Fantasy VI, right?
Yeah.
And because I love Final Fantasy VI, I love like how it's just like you can pick as like, you can play the game as different characters too. So like you won't really have the same gameplay by your choice. You can pick whatever you want, but I really wanted to avoid an RPG, and I kind of wanted to get into like more of a like maybe like a Tetris like game, like I said, endless gameplay loop, right?
Yeah.
And I was trying to think of one, and I can't right now, unfortunately. But if it was gonna be the first thing that comes up in my brain was Final Fantasy VI.
Hey, go with what your heart's telling you, man.
Yeah, instantly. 3 in America, 6 in the US back in the day.
My second pick, Cyberpunk 2077. That one is definitely one where, even with the state that the game released in, it was something where I even told my friends, like, man, yeah, there's all these bugs and these crashes and T-posing on motorbikes and all the fun stuff from launch. But the world immediately was immersive to me. It just reached out and grabbed me, and just even walking around, it's a vibe at night, man. When you see it turn to night and you're downtown there, it is
Yeah.
awe-inspiring and super immersive.
They don't call it Night City for nothing.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it shines in the night. But just
The night begins to shine.
yeah. But honestly, man, like when we're sitting here and talking and hearing you two talk, when talk about replayability, how about something where every time you play it, you can do something a little different, and your background will change different aspects and interactions around the city. And then the skill trees, they've gone through multiple iterations. In its current iteration, man, the gameplay is completely different depending on how you build your character, like completely different. You're seeing all these people kind of jump around and do these double jumps and air dashing. My first character wasn't an air dasher. I went with like a net runner build. So a lot of like hacking, completely different experience running around, trying to like be a little bit more stealthy versus just running in and putting on the gorilla arms mods and pounding the enemy into the ground. Right. Like it's crazy to me how much different iteration you can have in something that's that big and immersive, and each person kind of pulls something from it too. There's different things that resonate, whether it's the music, whether it's the art, whether it's the immersive city, whether it's whatever, right? It's just one of those games that I could easily play the rest of my life, and I still wouldn't get bored, like you said, James, with like a story that you're very familiar with. Even my third pick is going to be something like I'm very familiar with that story, but it's a
Yeah.
story I would be more than happy to relive and reread anytime in my life. That's why it's my pick, my
Yeah.
second pick.
Yeah, it was a tough one because I was like floating around Dragon Age, that trilogy, right? If I was gonna play all of them, it'd be all of them, right? But it was like, man, I feel like there's only X amount of combinations you can have, in that because but it's still good.
Yeah. Yeah, and then with Cyberpunk throwing in Phantom Liberty at the end, had a
Oh
buddy
my
my message to just DM me about that. Like, yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome.
It's an easy choice for me.
Yeah. Is that all of them?
My last one would be the Mass Effect Legendary Edition.
I don't blame you. I am a believer now.
Yeah, that's you know me quite well, especially after you were playing through it. But being able to play all three, despite the fact I know so much of the stories, like I just said, it's something that I'm more than happy to relive, and I think you understand a little bit now.
Oh no, I 100% get it. Like I'm not like I said, if I had to choose between two, Dragon Age and Mass Effect, I choose Dragon Age first because I love the setting better, right? But now I understand, not like the love for the characters. Just when everybody talks about it, like I don't get it. But it's just one of those things where like guys, when people are talking about a game and you just don't get it, just play the damn game. You'll be like, okay, I get it now. Become one with the Borg. No, it was magnificent. That's all I'll say about that. Because I only had intended to play one, but I played all three for the gaming challenge. So, all right, guys. Well, I love that you guys shared in chat what your top threes are. It's always good to know a little bit more about like who's watching us and who's in our community. So keep up the good work, and we love it. We appreciate you for that. So speaking of work, don't work too hard over the holiday. Because sometimes you got to know when to rest. And this brings up to our next and last segment of the night, the final boss. Why rest is part of the grind. And if I could find there you go. Sorry, one. And if I freeze, I apologize. I'll fix that right away. So tonight's final boss topic. For us, first of all, if it's your first time here tonight, the final boss is basically where we take video game references, knowledge, experience, and apply it to real life. That's right. When the last person told you that, hey, you're gonna waste your life playing video games, tell them no. You don't know what you're talking about, because this segment of the show, we show you how the various things you learn in gaming world, while gaming, while being a gamer, you can apply to real life and to make your life a little bit better, one day at a time. So tonight, it's going to be called Press Pause, why rest is part of the grind. So here we go. Every episode, we talk about the grind, right? Last time we said, don't forget about the delayed gratification, about grinding it out, the hustle, the next level, right? But tonight's final boss is gonna be a little bit different. We're 2 days away from Christmas, right? Because the hardest challenge this time of the year isn't really pushing forward. It's knowing when to stop. When most of the year is chasing progress, right? Finishing games, clearing your backlogs, keeping up with updates, season passes and patches, etc., all that stuff. Life is crazy. Somewhere along the way, even the things we love start to feel like obligations. Matter of fact, I can say truthfully on my end that the A to Z Gaming Challenge has become quite an obligation. I want to finish it before the end of the year, but it's not looking like that. There's just some games on there that I probably won't have time to play, because for some reason I put a lot of RPGs on there, and that's my fault, nobody else's. And I've decided to play all 3 games of Mass Effect, right? So that is all on me. But hey, I don't want to take and make gaming into an obligation. I want it to be something that I love and enjoy. So I'm playing at my own pace, and you should too. But here's the truth: not every season is meant for grinding. In games, pressing pause doesn't mean you failed. It doesn't mean you quit, right? It means you're still in control. You get to choose when you pause. When you pause a game, what do? You check your map, review your inventory, and I also froze, didn't I? And decide what matters next. It loves freezing when I'm talking. Perfect. And life also works the same way. Now, the holidays remind us that the rest isn't weakness. It's simply just maintenance, right? Stepping away doesn't erase progress, it protects it. Sometimes the smartest move isn't another run, another quest, another achievement, right? Sometimes the smartest move is closing the menu, put that controller down, letting yourself breathe, take a break. So if you don't finish a game this year, that's okay, right? Be kinder to yourself. If your backlog grows, that's okay. You are extremely blessed that you have a backlog. If you don't play at all for a few days, that's okay too. Go do something else you want to do, okay? Because gaming is supposed to serve your life, not compete with it. Now, when the next level starts, when the new year loads in, you want to be rested, focused, and present. And that's by knowing when to press pause. So tonight, tomorrow, whenever you feel like it before the end of the year, take a break, save your progress. The game will still be there when you get back. Okay? So that's your tonight's final boss for Christmas 2025. I almost said 2023. What the heck? I'm in the past. But yes, take a break, guys, when you guys can. Don't feel pressured and obligated to grind through the game as fast as possible because you have more games to play. You should always associate gaming as a positive experience, because you don't want to start playing games and hate yourself. And this is why I slowly stop playing Marvel Rivals. Started hating myself after playing that game. That's a big one. All right. Before we close out tonight, what are you guys' final takeaways? Takes for the show? Anything looking forward to before the new year?
I didn't get the chance to mention my third long-term game.
No, I even asked, but okay.
And Nick, strap yourself in.
Dynasty Warriors 2.
Which one would you choose? You have the entire library to choose from.
What's funny is that I actually wasn't going to pick Dynasty Warriors this time now.
But now we're talking sense, and you're like, oh, well, actually.
I forgot.
It's like Dynasty Warriors Gundam 2.
If I was picking from Dynasty Warriors, it would be 8.
That's pretty good.
But what's your actual pick?
No, my actual pick, Brave Fencer Musashi.
Oh, God.
You know what? I saw a video not too long ago with the title, "This game doesn't need a remake." You should watch that.
Let me guess. It's Brave Fencer Musashi.
It's Brave Fencer Musashi.
I'm
So
gonna have to go watch it.
I'm curious what you think about that video because it was a pretty good video.
The calls coming from inside the house.
Yeah. Is the Jin Dynasty in the room with us right now?
You're right.
No, Lubu isn't camped outside my window.
Holding this halberd. Dude.
My takeaway is this community's awesome. This group's awesome. I'm glad we're going into Christmas. Very happy to talk about this stuff tonight and to say to community members in chat, thank you so much for everything. This year has been great. The second season kickoff has been awesome. Definitely hop on the Discord if you haven't joined us yet. Get your friends to join. This next week, I'm looking to reboot up the retrospective for this month. So I'm going to put a poll up with some options. Please hop on the Discord, vote. I'd like to see what people have to say. I'm probably going to close it probably the end of Sunday. So we have through the weekend to vote to give me a day or two just to kind of get that done. But appreciate it.
Okay, cool. I was gonna say, and the link is on the bottom of the screen there. I wanted to show everybody our amazing gear because I was just telling Nick earlier that we sold 2 of his shirts. I wanted to show you the shirts that I'm talking about, not this one.
That one's still, the one.
The Neurogamer shirt, that's what it's called. But this one is apparently selling like hotcakes. The one in black, the next class lion graphic tee. I looked at this says this is the most ordered item in our store minus the hats, right? One guy actually bought a hat and a shirt, which is pretty cool. So check that out if you guys want to rep your gear. And where I am open for you guys sending photos wearing your gear, and I'll post it on socials if you guys give me permission, of course. I would love to see you guys in your Gamer Quotient stuff. Just rock with it, rep with it.
And if you have no idea why that shirt's so cool, I understand. Keep watching the podcast. You'll find out.
Yeah.
You'll find out eventually.
Yeah.
Right. And it's funny because I think the guy that bought it, like I know the guy, and I don't think he knows the reference. He chose that shirt over the other one. So
hey, man. Sometimes it's just the aura speaks to you.
I love it. Love it. And also, this hat comes in like 4 colors: the white one, the red one that Ace has, solo black one, which is super cool, and then the red, and then the orange one that I'm wearing. So, y'all love that? Awesome. We'll eventually get more polos. Anybody? Huh? Polos for the show? I'll wear polos. Bunch of weirdos.
Hey, I worked at a video game store and had the option to wear polos. I always went with the crew unless I was forced to.
Nah. Well, I mean, I think hoodies is a pretty good one. So maybe we'll look at that down the road as well. So, all right. Well, with that said, let me send off everybody here tonight with the outro. I call it the final boss send off. But that's gonna do it for class 58. We're almost to 60 of Gaming Academy, and we're almost at 2026 as well. Tonight we talked about the past, the present, and the future, from gaming history to industry news to the games we're excited about and the ones would keep us with us for life. SimCity for life. I need to wear a shirt that says that, SimCity for life, looking like graffiti. Your hand, right? Be cool. More than anything, tonight's class was about intention, choosing experiences that respect our time, understanding when to push forward, and when it's okay to slow down. As we head into the holidays, remember, pressing pause doesn't mean you quit. It means you're still in control, whether you're picking up something new, revisiting an old favorite, or stepping away for a bit. Play in a way that serves your life. From all of us here at the Gaming Academy, thank you for being part of this community, for showing up each week, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and for keeping the conversation thoughtful. Make sure to follow us and subscribe on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, etc., all the above, so you don't miss the next class. With that said, you know what they say here at the Academy: learn the craft, master the game. You've trained, you've leveled up. Now face the final boss. Happy holidays, guys, and we'll see you next class.
Class dismissed.